Hey, hey, what's up, rosebuds? Welcome back. You know what time it is. It is Wilted Roses Wednesday. Welcome back to Wilted Roses Wednesday, where every rose ain't worth smelling. Okay, I can tell you that right now. Every rose is not worth smelling. And some of those, or not those roses, but some of these stories that I have lined up for you all today have been literally sitting in the vase too long. So tonight we are getting into the mess, the contradictions, the questionable decisions that people have been making lately, and people who absolutely know better than what they're actually doing. Okay. And, around here, we don't just talk about what happened, we talk about why it happened and why everybody conveniently um, left things out and who needs to take some accountability. Okay. And I have a story that's going to blow y'all socks off. Okay. Actually, two stories. Okay. The first one is going to be kind of boring, but you'll like it. Okay. Just stick around. So get comfortable, grab your drink, hit the like button for me, please, my good people, on your way in, on your way out. Let me know where you're watching from. Are you in the South like me? I'm in Georgia. Are you up north? Are you overseas? I'm very interested to know where you guys are watching from. So if you could drop that in the comment section for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. Um, yeah, so we're gonna get into it because some roses are gonna bloom and some are gonna wilt. And tonight, you guys have got to decide: are these wilted roses? Did I pick these correctly? Or, are these roses that you would buy and give to someone as a gift? Okay. Either way it goes, welcome back to Wilted Roses Wednesday. So, my first video here that I'm going to show you all is called Millions of Americans Are Getting Kicked Off Section 8. And before we talk about these people getting kicked off of Section 8, I want to just go over a couple of things about, because, I'm a government worker and I write policy. And I want to just say to everyone that there's not much that has changed. Well, okay, first of all, the big one, things that's changed with Section 8, the one thing that everybody is scared and talking about, right, are those work requirements. Plus there's a proposed time limit. Now, Trump did say that he was going to kick people off of Section 8 within 2 years, but there's no legal policy out there that is allowing him to do that. Okay. So there's no nationwide law affecting people on Section 8. So if you're on Section 8 and you're still getting your voucher, you're still able to live where you're at on the Section 8, good for you. Okay. But if I were you, I would be making sure that if I was getting Section 8, I would be making sure that the money that is allotted to me for my housing is actually paying the homeowner. Okay. Because in a couple of instances that we're going to watch next, they weren't properly keeping up with their accounting. And some of them say they didn't know that they were actually on the table for getting evicted. Okay. But in March of this year, HUD proposed a rule that would allow local public housing authorities and certain Section 8 property owners to impose work requirements of up to 40 hours per week. All right. That hasn't happened for everyone. All right. So if that hasn't happened to you, good for you. You're living in a state where they're like, this guy is only going to be president for 4 years. There's no need to make a bunch of changes yet. Okay. So Good for you all. If you are in possibly a red state that has went along to make some of these transitions, they're telling you you need to work and they want to see the proof. And and this includes anything from so I here it says hold on, it says so I didn't know this. This includes housing choice vouchers, project-based vouchers, public housing, and project-based rental assistance. So I just want y'all to keep this in mind when we watch this next video of what instances these people, what vouchers these people might have. Everybody is on a different voucher, so this could affect people differently, okay? So don't get scared, but you need to still be aware of what Section 8 you have and reconcile your Section 8 each month to make sure that your payments are going where they're supposed to go, okay? The federal regulatory agenda still lists, though, in the proposed rule stage, basically, final actions on this proposal are supposed to be due next month. So that's why I'm putting this together today, because we're literally a week away from September, and this could affect you depending on what voucher you have and what state you're in, okay? Basically, so the things that have changed are work requirements, that a time limit. Okay, so maybe if you've been on Section 8 for like 15, 20 years, you might be a person that is going to lose your Section 8 soon. Okay, so I'm gonna let this video play. Let me, I don't even have it up. Okay, here it is. Let me add him to the screen. It's here we go. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know I didn't have it up. Okay, here we go, guys. All right, so this content creator, I'm gonna make sure to leave his link in the description so that you guys can go back and watch it, send it to someone, give him a like, and subscribe to his channel if you like his content.
All right, y'all. Millions of Americans are getting kicked off Section 8. We about to get straight into this video. But first, like it before you light it, hit the sub before you hit the button, and join the team before you hit the green.
I like when you said that, yeah.
They putting our stuff out in the rain, y'all. In the rain. 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 This guy, James right here. This guy right here is putting our stuff out in the rain.
This stuff was out there before the rain. You sat there waiting time.
Putting us out in the rain. In the rain, y'all.
That look like water.
In the rain, y'all. I begged for them to wait. We was getting everything. Literally, I begged. We black. We all black here. We all black here.
Okay, so the comment, we're all black here. I don't understand what that means. I mean, I'm black. I pay my mortgage. I pay my HOA. If I don't pay my mortgage, if I don't pay my HOA, it's going to be somebody that's going to come out here and try to evict me. And if I ain't paying attention to my mail, I'm not opening my mail, I'm not being responsible with knowing that I'm not paying my mortgage, that eventually the lender is going to foreclose on me and the sheriff's going to be knocking at my door to tell me that within 30 days of the bank procedures that they've went ahead and filed with the court, I have to be out of the premises within 30 days. And then in 30 days, another sheriff is going to show up to put all my stuff out if my stuff isn't already gone. This is, I don't understand what Black folks, what being Black has to do with this, because there's going to be white people in this video montage that he put together that is freaking going through the same thing. So it doesn't matter if you're white or Black. If you're not handling your business, then likely these things will happen to you. Now, is it messed up that their stuff is getting put out in the rain? you know, I wouldn't be happy about that either. But at the same time, if I knew I was getting put out, I would have probably called my dad, my family members, you know, cousins of mine to help me move my stuff into storage. Or at least if I can't afford to get a storage, maybe a U-Haul truck, I can rent it for a couple of days, keep all my stuff in the U-Haul truck until I'm able to get myself into another place, or put my stuff in storage.
It wasn't raining when they
They
left.
don't care. And
You
it
knew
just
it
gets
wasn't raining when they
forecast.
left.
No one gave a fuck.
It was always gonna rain.
I never knew it was going.
If
No one
we
gave a fuck because it's not them. Damn. This is so fucked up. Wow. I hope all y'all people the fuck y'all so.
Oh yeah, this is New Orleans. I can tell now. See, I couldn't hear his accent coming out, but hers coming out. And
I'm going to say this too. You know, if my stuff is getting put out in the rain and there's nothing that I can do about it, I'm not going to be sitting up in the rain, getting wet, screaming, fussing, and cussing. I'm probably going to be getting trash bags, opening them so that I can lay them over my stuff like a piece of tarp so that all my baby stuff doesn't get wet. I mean, you can see that little kitchen in pink over here on the side. You know, this is her children's stuff. I'm sure she doesn't want it to get wet. I understand the frustration. You're already on hard times, but this property belongs to someone that isn't getting paid for it, and they need to be able to make moves to get someone in their property that is going to pay.
it looked like New Orleans. Looked like that's probably downtown, maybe in the
It does
8
look
wall,
like
7 wall area, possibly the 9 wall.
There's a God above. I hope you fucking hear me because this ain't fucking right.
Some little street.
This ain't right.
I just left all.
Hey, but the thing is this though. Here's the point that I'm gonna make. I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Yeah,
You
I
knew
liked
you
him.
was getting evicted. You ain't gonna get evicted and not know. You ain't been paying that. You ain't been paying that rent. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I promise you, them people that told you, listen, you gotta pay. You know this.
Right.
That's just how that go. And then they trying to play the race card with other black people. This is a black.
This stuff
Oh,
is messed
I
up.
got a rental property. If you stop paying, I gotta come up with that bread. And guess what, man? I hate to say it, but like, I'd rather me be straight than you be straight. Straight up. I'll work with you. I'll do all the things that I can. But once I feel like you taking my kindness for weakness, you got to go, partner. It's really just that simple, man. People got mortgages out here, bro. People trying to do something with their property and you over there just not paying. Some of these mortgages are $2,000. The Section 8 is covering a large portion of it, and you just got to come pay your part. And you ain't doing it. I got to get you up out of there and put somebody else up in there who going to pay. Because now you're
Right.
bleeding me dry. And that's just the fact of the matter, bro.
On my
Agreed.
fucking Section 8 because you steady want to play with the police, keep going to jail, back to back. Now it's on me
I
to
told-
take care of you.
I told you I'm gonna figure it out, bro. Don't worry about the kids. Y'all
I've
gonna stay with
been
my
told
sister.
you
Y'all gonna
I've
stay with my
been
sister for a minute, bro.
told you
But you know, like they keep
to
fucking
get
with
off
me,
my
bro.
Section 8.
What
When
you
I kept
talking
telling
about?
your ass to get out and leave and just let me take you off, your ass should have let me do it. Now
Like,
I'm
it's-
sitting
it's-
here.
It's not my
stop
fault. They
to
took your
figure this shit
Section
out.
8. It's not my fault. You
You
don't
said
have
I
a
stay
house
with
no
your
more.
sister. I don't want to
Now-
stay with no fucking
It's not,
body.
it's not on me. You keep trying to blame this shit on me because you and your kids don't got nowhere to stay now. I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to my mama's house. Like I said, y'all can go to
And y'all be dating these type dudes, bro. Y'all crazy.
my sister crib.
I'm
All
not
that shit
going
you talking
to
about,
nobody's
You
house.
steady trying to put
Why
all
do
this
you
shit on
steady
me.
think
It's not
about-
happening. It's not working. Fuck is you talking about, bro? That shit dead.
Okay, well,
Shit
you go
dead.
take your kids.
Oh well.
Since
I'm
you the
not.
one
They
who
all
made
going
us
with you.
lose
They-
it.
they not- man, they all
Since you the
going.
one who made us lose our Section 8, you're going to take your fucking kids.
I'm not taking
And you're gonna
nobody
figure
nowhere.
out y'all
Bro,
living situation.
What?
I'm gonna get back on my feet without you,
No,
and I'm
you
coming
ain't.
back for my kids.
What the fuck is you talking
Simple.
about? I don't get no fuck either.
No. She says we have 24 hours. I don't know because Section 8 didn't pay this month or last month. You guys, my landlord just showed up to our house, our trailer, okay? And told me
Okay, hold on. Before we go on, because I see Lee Turner. What's up, y'all? What's up, Kennard? What's up, Lee? What's up, Red Lipstick Vibes? Homie, Jay Tillman. It's good to see all of y'all. So listen, in the previous video, the young man said, you and your kids, meaning she had kids before him, he's giving her a place to stay, telling her, you can go stay with my sister. And she like, nah, you messed me up. You on my Section 8. Young lady, if you have Section 8 and there's something going on in your life where it can potentially ruin the fact that you have Section 8 and get you kicked off of Section 8, that's not anybody else's responsibility to handle but yours. So then when you find yourself getting evicted, you can't blame that on anybody else. I'm sorry, but that was just kind of like, what, you know? But yeah, yeah, that's the boyfriend. That's not the baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Frederick, for the 10 jewels. I really appreciate you so much. The gold coins. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Frederick, for always supporting me. But yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so let's get into this one because y'all calling him Nug Tavius and but okay.
24 hours to move. 24 hours, not even 24 hours. She's giving me till 4 o'clock tomorrow to be out. Me and my 6 kids, because Section 8 didn't pay our rent this month. And then when she went to go look back because they didn't pay this last month, she realized they haven't paid in 3 months. And you're just now telling me? Just now.
My thing is, how didn't you know that Section 8 wasn't paying? You didn't receive any documentation in the mail. How did you not know? You know, because you have to do certain things to get on it. So when they about to kick you off of it, I would imagine they're gonna send you some letters in the mail. And I can't really be mad at the landlord for the simple fact it's really not her responsibility to make sure you got your Section 8 for the most part. Now she could have definitely been paying attention to the fact that she wasn't receiving rent. Maybe she's self-managing. I don't know what's going on, but how do you, whatever. But you got to understand something. Put yourself in her shoes. If you had a rental property and the rent wasn't coming in, but the bank still want their money because most people don't own these properties free and clear. The bank still want their money. If she don't get you in there, out of there, and put someone in there who can pay it, she gonna lose that house and have a foreclosure on her credit report. She gonna be in a financial bind, and I'm sorry, bro. Ain't nobody that nice. A lot of these landlords and rent people who got these properties, bro, they not rich. They just got one property hanging on by a thread. I'm telling you, I know plenty of them.
My goal is to eventually rent my house out that I'm currently in, right? But I'm not going to be able to do that. I'll likely be able to rent my house out before I'm able to pay it off completely. So like he said, it'll be my first rental property. I'll still be paying the mortgage on it, but I'll be renting it out to somebody to cover the mortgage payments for me while I go move into a bigger house. That's the goal, right? If they're not paying me and it's been after 3 months, I'm going to start sending paperwork to the house like, hey, look, I haven't got my rent. You're going to have to leave. If I don't get my rent, I'm going to evict you. And so I'm assuming that if you get a government voucher and then they say they're not going to give it to you anymore, then they would send you a letter. They would send something in the mail to you to let you know, A, we are unable to pay your mortgage or your Section 8 this month. Call us, let us know. Like, I'm pretty sure there's some steps that she missed that she's not telling us, because when they turn the camera on, it just seems to be like, woe is me, I'm the victim, this is happening to me for no reason. And then to do all of this with a baby in your hand, it's kind of like, man, like this poor child, like doesn't stand a chance.
She doesn't even have an eviction on paper. She's threatening to turn off the utilities if we're not gone by tomorrow. Where the hell am I going to go with 6 kids? Where? Because anywhere I go, I'm going to need first and last month's rent. And then she expects me to come up with almost $4,000 in back rent because Section 8 decided they weren't going to pay my rent.
Well, you Section 8, she know you ain't coming up with that. We wouldn't expect nobody on Section 8 to just miraculously come up with $4,000. That's just not how the game go.
This is bullshit. What kind of rights do I have? She can't do this to us. Where are we going?
So this is an update video of me getting out Section 8.
Okay, hold on, wait. I have an announcement. So over the weekend, thank you, Pooh Man. he kind of told me about my accomplishment before I even knew about it. But over the weekend, I crossed over to 4,000 subscribers. So thank you all so much for helping my garden grow. I am now at like 4,020, I think 4,027 subscribers. So thank you all so much for rocking with me, supporting me, sending in super chats. Thank you so much, Pooh Man. Thank you, Lee Turner, for the jewels, Frederick for the jewels. I appreciate all the likes, all the comments, all the conversations that we have, whether on Discord or in my Instagram DMs. I appreciate y'all so much. And what's up, Janelle? It's good to see you. Thank you, Lee. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now listen to this girl, okay? Because her tenant or her Section 8 lady is watching her TikToks, okay? Watch this. Listen to this.
Because I flashed a weapon.
Hold on, we're going to go back a little bit.
Update video.
This to us.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
So this is an update video of me getting out Section 8 because I flashed a weapon in a video. Yeah. Remember when I said I wanted to get out Section 8? They made it happen a little sooner than I was planning, but that's okay. That's okay. Got the keys already, moved shit in already, moving more stuff in today. Then them hoes locked my rent account, so I could not pay my rent on the 1st, just because they wanted to have me gone within 7 days or have an eviction on my record. Like, it's they just really fucking slow and they haters. Talking about we watched our YouTube video. I bet the fuck you did. I bet you did. I don't hide nothing from y'all. You think I care that you watch my video? I don't.
Who is they?
I don't. We don't.
This is what I don't understand, okay? And you're going to see this in the last video that I present to y'all tonight. Y'all are going to see. This internet is killing y'all. This internet is taking y'all's jobs, y'all's Section 8, y'all's food stamps, and y'all still haven't learned to keep your personal, intimate drama between you, your family, or your friends offline. Like, why? Yes, I'm Pooh Man. I'm gonna definitely link Will's video in the description. I just subscribed to him today. I was literally all over his channel, but this one was a good one. I had to show y'all. But why get clout? I guess so, Triple. I guess so. I guess clout must feel so much better than having a livelihood. Like, for the life of me, like, there's a certain way I must conduct myself online. Like I had to fill out a form that tells my job how YouTube is paying me. I had to submit that to like some FBI agent. So I know that they watch. You know, they're probably not watching me every day, but they're probably doing like a little scan on what's going on. And I just can't be out here saying that I got weapons, flashing weapons, especially if you're not allowed to have weapons in a Section 8 property. Like, why do that? Like, why was it necessary to show the weapon again and then talk about how you don't care that people are watching you and be aggressive about it? It's kind of like you're asking for more trouble, because just because they put you out of this property doesn't mean they can't ruin your chances in getting in the next property. I mean, girl.
Y'all ain't stopping nothing. You thought you was putting me in a bad predicament? No, Bookie. You just blessed me even 10 times more. Just off hating. So, yeah.
Y'all, this woman just got kicked off of Section 8 because she had a man living in her house. So
now this guy.
The lady's been on Section 8 for 7 years, finally starting to get her shit together. She allows her baby daddy to come live there. He's hustling out of the house or whatever the case may be, helping her out with the bills, doing whatever he can. They kick her out Section 8. He skates. He don't want no parts of it. He ain't helping her out. He ain't trying to help her get back up to get a placement for her and her kids, their kids. He just done straight up bounced on the girl. Now, it doesn't make no sense that she sacrificed her place of living in order to help him out, but then as soon as she loses everything, he skates. That's what a lot of men do out here. A lot of men don't give a damn about you and what you got going on as long as it benefits them. So she put herself in a situation thinking that if everything else fails, that he was gonna have her back. Now he's on her feet and she's on her ass. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation in the comments.
Well, I personally think you're a simp. That's what I think. Everybody has their own responsibilities in life. You know, she made the decision to help him out and he made the decision not to help her out. Everybody got decisions to make. She didn't decide to make her baby's father her husband. Did she? She didn't. So it's like, I can't feel bad if two people are in a bad situation that the one person goes to save themselves. That's just human nature, that you would want to preserve yourself. But in the two videos that we just watched the first two eviction videos, those women were getting evicted with their men. Their men were right there next to them getting evicted. And the one young man even offered the young woman to come stay with his sister. So it's like, I don't just think that all men are out here putting women in tough situations. I think that these women put themselves in tough situations. And when they finally can't skate around the tough situation, instead of taking accountability for it, they go ahead and put the accountability on the other person, which is wrong. And that's what this is about. Like, if you have Section 8 and there are things that you need to do in order to keep it, then you need to follow those rules. If you don't follow those rules, then accept the consequences. Shout out to you, Mr. Walker. It's good to see you. I was tripping out on y'all the other day. You are so funny, okay? Thank you so much. Mr. Walker has been a member for 12 months. Wait a minute, y'all. It's been a year since I've been monetized then. Oh my God. It just dawned on me. How cool is that? And thank you so much for the $10, Mr. Walker. I appreciate you. Peace and love to you and the family. I hope all is well, okay? But yeah, I don't think that the men are as bad as this guy right here is trying to make it seem.
Were they talking about the first clip, the black dude? That sound like they was in Chicago, but like, yeah, bro. Hey man, y'all remember back in the day, they say that them social workers used to come to the hood and make sure no signs of a man was in that house. My cousin one time made a joke. He was like, when he was a little boy, because he in his late 40s, he's approaching 50. So he basically said when he was a little boy, his mama used to hide her boyfriend's clothes like in his closet underneath all of his clothes and stuff. Like he said, man, they had size 12 snakeskin cowboy boots in his closet, man, knowing damn well ain't no 10-year-old wearing that shit, boy. They used to make sure a man wasn't in the house back in the day. Toe up.
Free game.
21 days until my eviction. All because you guys think.
Okay, now this one takes the cake, y'all. This one right here, listen to her. So she done burned all her bridges. Every single bridge in her life, she allegedly has burned, okay? And I'm saying she's burned it. Listen to what she says in this right here. Thank you so much, Frederick, for saying that I could get up to 40K, okay? That'll be the day, okay? Thank you for putting that out there for me. I appreciate you. And Lee Turner, yeah, congratulations, 1 year monetized. I know, I'm so excited. I'm gonna have to like eat an unhealthy snack today to celebrate. I haven't even thought about it. I've just been trying to get back on track for being off the summer. But I'm really excited. And I'm so excited that you guys are even excited about that for me. Very cool. Thank you so much. What's up, Sentiment? Bath works. It's good to see y'all. All right, now listen to this lady. Okay, now
I was being so mean to you, all because I asked you some questions and I blew you a kiss and said thank you.
Now, did you catch that? Let me go back a minute. Hold on. Let's listen to what she said.
Some questions. think I was being 21 days until my eviction. All because you guys think I was being so mean to you. All because I asked you some questions and I blew you a kiss and said thank you.
So she done went to somebody's rent office, asked some questions. I'm sure she wasn't asking in this tone of voice. And then after they answered her questions, they allegedly said she was mean because she said thank you and blew them a kiss. I'm pretty sure that she was aggressive and that kiss was like, kiss my ass. You know what I'm saying?
So now I got 21 days to figure out where I'm gonna be at. I can't go to my mom's house. I can't go to my sister's house. I already called the shelter. They said they're full. It's getting cold. People need somewhere to go. If you ain't got kids with you, it's hard to get in the shelter.
She said, if you ain't got kids with you, it's hard to get in a shelter. Here in Atlanta, you got to be in that shelter line like before 6, you know, and like my restaurant was not too far from a few shelters downtown. And man, you know, like it's tough, but they have a capacity. And if you're not there or in line, you know, in line good enough to where you meet the capacity, everybody that is behind you is not going to be able to stay there. And you know, they take people with kids first. So I get that prioritization, but you know, you just heard her say she can't go to her mom's house, she can't go to her sister's house. I wonder if the reason why she can't go back to her mom's house and she can't go back to her sister's house is because of the fact that she gets aggressive. You know, like however she was with those people who she went to ask that question to and then said thank you and blew them a kiss. Moms and sisters don't go for that shit. And listen to what she's about to say here after this.
My kids are at my sister's home.
My kids are at my sister's house. So her sister is already doing her a favor by raising her kids and keeping her kids in a stable environment. You see, and her sister will take her kids, but her sister won't take her. You see what I'm saying? It's because the kids are innocent, but you the one that keep making bad decisions. You the one that can't get your shit together. People don't mind helping children, but they fully care that they are taking care of a grown adult that is disrespectful, mean, like she said the people at the rent office described her as mean, disrespectful. And then you dusty? Nah, you can't come stay with me.
Obviously, if I had no go, I'm gonna sleep in my car. So, yep. 21 days.
I mean, it does make sense. Like, if you don't have no kids, it makes it harder to get in the shelter. The way I see it is like, all right, cool. If you are in there, you could possibly be taking the place of children. It makes sense. It still sucks, but I get it. You know, it's also interesting, bro. Like, when you are doing bad financially, Child Protective Services could take your child and then they'll put your child in the care of someone who receives money to take care of the kid.
Thanks, taxpayers.
Okay, y'all. So we are at part.
Hold on. Did you hear that? Did you see that? She said, thanks, taxpayers. Wait a minute. So about 4,000, I think my mom broke it down for me one time. This was like 10 years ago. I think she said it's about like $4,500 comes out of my paychecks all year to cover like these subsidies for people who are on government assistance. So she's thanking us for the fact that she was put out and is going to be homeless in 21 days. The audacity. Ma'am, we do for you, but you don't do for yourself. All you have to do is have a good attitude, treat people fairly, and do what you're supposed to do, and you won't be getting put out. People won't say that you're mean and you can't stay here. Like, what? You don't just get to roll through life doing anything you want to anybody and then assume that you're still going to be able to get a handout or a lift up. Nobody's going to do that. That's just wild to me.
Of how I got kicked off Section 8 with 7 children and a husband. Okay, y'all. So in my job, I told y'all they pulled the float plan. So this owner was really wanting us to be his tenant real bad. So when he decided that he had another house for us, he wanted to show us the 402 in Carver Shores. Like I said, y'all, Carver Shores is kind of the hood. And of course he'll have another house in the hood, but there's neither here nor there. The house is really nice, y'all. So we go see the 402. He failed the inspection 4 times. For the first time, it was because it wasn't no electric socket on the socket that you plug stuff up to. Then B, he failed it again because the light over the stove didn't work. So that was a red flag. We should have known.
Man, so let's say a Florida mom in tears as she about to lose her Section 8 housing assistance after starting a new job. She said, I feel like I got punished for trying to get in a job. I ain't gonna lie, bro, this fucked up, but it's the way things is. One thing about Section 8 and government assistance, they don't want you to grow. It's crazy how much help you can get out here for being lazy, but as soon as you trying to change your life around for the better, they don't want to help no more. It's so many single parents out here with a job that's barely holding on. If they
that bothers me. Like, if I ever get further up in government, these would be the kind of programs that I would look at rehabbing, not trashing the program or severely cutting the program, but maybe like split the Section 8 program in a way where there's a way to transition out and still get assistance in some way. Like, okay, you got it, because you do want people to get a job so that you can help other people that need it. So I get that. So I think that it would be a good way to keep the program alive, but rehabilitate the people that have maybe had a hard life, maybe drugs. This one lady has 7 children, maybe a few of them go off to college and you only got 4 from the 7 to take care of, and now you're able to work. I don't know, but I feel like these programs need to be rehabilitated so that they're better able to catch the people that want to transition out, so that we don't have a whole bunch of people abusing the system. Because you don't know until you try. And then she's out there looking for jobs. She probably landed a really good job and she was like, okay, I'm going to work this job for 3 months and then I'll be completely off of government assistance. But as soon as they found out she was working, she doesn't have that 3-month cushion anymore to build up her salary, her paychecks, to be able to afford it on her own. I think that's wrong. So that would be something that I would look into changing, because I do feel like some elderly people might need like a Section 8, maybe young people that are out of the, when you're adopted or you grew up in a group home and now you're 18 and they're putting you out of the group home or the orphanage and now you have to live on your own. Like, I would want to give those people Section 8 and vouchers, and I would want to help them, but I wouldn't want to cripple them for 10, 15, 20 years. The goal would be, let me help you, and then eventually you're going to get a job and be able to do all of this on your own. So yeah, this is a pickle.
They could just get a little extra help, they'd be good out here. I always say though, bro, having a job is always gonna be better though.
Yeah.
You're gonna make way more money from a real job than any type of government assistance. See if she never got a job and she just stayed on Section 8 for the rest of her life. Most likely she would never have shit. If you able to work a job, bro, that's always better.
Right.
Old time, you can lose your government assistance from anything. If they find out that the person you got a child with is living with you, they can take it from that. It's just too many rules, bro. It's not worth it at all, especially if you young and you want to be successful. Facts.
Lady is getting.
Yeah, I never quite understood that, right? Let's say you got on one hand the person who wants to be a lifelong Section 8 tenant. It's almost like you're incentivized to do just that. But then on the other hand, what if you have someone who is on Section 8, but they see a bigger vision for their life? So they want to get, a job and they want to get educated and they want to move up, but then you punish them for doing that. It's really like a catch-22. It's a paradox.
Yeah.
You can't win for losing sometimes, dog. And then ignorant people say a lot of times, like, yeah, all of the people are like the first people I mentioned, the ones that want to be lifelong tenants, which is not the case. But it's almost like they want to keep you perpetually struggling, because they could set it up to the point where, like, all right, there's a program where, all right, cool, you're on Section 8 now. You can go and work a job. We still gonna pay our portion, and you gonna still have the same portion that you have to pay, and you're gonna do that until you get on your feet, and we'll let you do it for 2 years. So you're getting job experience, maybe you're getting your education and all that kind of stuff while you know that you have a roof over your head. But they don't, they don't do shit like that.
And these government agencies, especially right now, we need help. We need help, okay? If you are able-bodied and you are able to get to the work site, I would love to have somebody help me at work. You know what I'm saying? You're getting on the job training, you know what I'm saying? And you're on the program. I think that would be great. A 2-year program is even better than 3 months, because that gives you enough time to like learn budgeting, and you know what I'm saying? And you're still able to survive. You still know how you're going to eat without having to do something nefarious like sell drugs or prostitution or, whatever else is out there to help you supplement your income until you get what you need, where you need to be. So I agree with him on that. I love that idea. A 2-year program to help people transition off of Section 8. I think that is fair.
Kicked off Section 8. She got 6 kids. And she has to pay $1,100 in a day. I guess she ain't worked a job in like 13 years. And she said she's not going to go work a job. But she has 6 kids. And she was on Section 8. And her landlord came and told her, like, hey, by the 1st, you need to come up with $1,100 because they're no longer covering your Section 8. $1,100 by the next day is insane. But also saying that you will never go back to work again is even more crazy.
Right. Because
at the end of the day, I'm going to have to do what I got to do for my family. I feel like it gets to a point. I feel like at that point, you're kind of abusing the whole purpose of Section 8. I feel like it's a temporary thing, not a permanent thing. And the fact that she was on there for 13 years is just like, okay. Granted, 6 kids is a lot. But within those 13 years, there should have been some type of plan or some type of end game to like getting your life back on track. You know what I mean? I don't want to judge anybody's situation because...
I don't want to get into policing people's reproductive organs, because that's kind of like eugenics. But I do think that if you're on these kind of programs, like let's say you started the program out with 2 kids, I can see going from like 2 kids to 4 kids on the program. But if you go from 2 kids to 5 more kids to having 7 kids total in a 13-year period, you're off the program. I'm sorry, because you're not trying to live a better quality of life. You're just mooching off of the government at this point. So I don't agree with that part. I don't think that's cool at all. Nobody gets to do nothing for 13 years and get paid for it. And I know that you're saying, oh, it's Section 8. She's not getting paid. Somebody is subsidizing her rent. That, to me, you might as well call that a paycheck. So weird.
I know things happen, stuff happens, but 13 years and then to turn around and say, I'm not going to ever work a job is like
crazy.
Okay. Because I don't even have kids and I can't get on Section 8 and I can't get food stamps and I can't get all these assistance things, but I work every single day, day in and day out. So it's just kind of like to just see somebody get on this app and be like, oh yeah, I'm not going to ever work. Like it's kind of a slap in the face.
It is.
So the bitch down at the government, how do y'all allow people to be on Section 8 for years, then run out of the funding for the shit? Okay. Now y'all got a group of people that y'all...
I like him. He's on TikTok a lot, but Section 8 didn't run out of money. All the money that the government has lots of money. They didn't, they're not, money didn't go missing. They just said, we don't want to give this pot of money called Section 8. We don't want to give them as much money as we've been giving them. So we're going to put 40% of the money we usually put into this bank. We're going to cut 40% of that. Now we're only going to put 60% of what we usually put in there. And we're just going to let people deal with that. So that is why new people can't join and why old people are getting kicked off. Not old people, but people who've been on the program the longest are probably getting kicked off, because Trump did propose a time limit. And then Trump did say or suggest that if you're going to be getting all of this good government aid, then you need to be working. So it's not like a get out of jail free card. And it's not that the government ran out of money. It's just the government wants to use money on other things like wars, you know, things like that. So when the priorities change, what they do is they take from the poor. They take from the poor. So they took money out of Section 8 and they put it somewhere else. But they didn't run out of money. They got money. They even have emergency money, which we learned last year when people were losing their food stamps. Remember? So, yeah, they didn't run out of money.
Allowed to do the bare minimum all their motherfucking life. You just stop them from getting careers and all kind of bullshit just to qualify.
No, and see, that's another thing. Like, nobody stopped anybody from getting a career. And I love what you said, Jay Tillman, your comment up here. Let me see, where's your comment? When you were talking about this one right here. Mrs. Smell the Roses, and you're surrounding yourself with a different caliber of people, right? So when we were talking earlier and I said, you know, the government would love to have like interns and people that are kind of there getting on-job training but working for free, you know, like that, being around that different group of people, older people who are getting good government salaries and make good decisions with their 401ks and their Roths, and they invest, that getting around a different group of people will help you give yourself a better perspective on where you want to be in life. But when this gentleman just said, you know, you stopped people from getting a career, no, people decided that they rather have less than more. They didn't want to have to go out and work for the more. They wanted to just get by with the less because they didn't have anything to do for it. It's like, if I don't have to do anything and you're going to give me $1,500 a month, but if I go out and get a job, you're going to stop giving me the $1,500 a month, then I'll just keep collecting $1,500 a month forever because that's all I need. No, because now we're in 2026 and milk is $7. Like, if that $1,500 doesn't stretch as good as it did in 1994. So nobody stopped them. So this guy right here, I don't know. I don't agree with this point here. Nobody stopped anybody on Section 8 from doing a better job and getting a better job and getting off government assistance and, you know, living for themselves, not living off the government. So
now y'all done ran out of funding for the shit. Where these people gonna go? What these people gonna do? Huh? That's why it should have been for people that was doing something, people who go to work, people who pay the bills, people who is actually getting up, going to do something for themselves. Those are the people that should be getting the help and the benefits. That way, when you lose it, you already know how to continue to get and work for money and know how to live and know how to survive and be able to live with the rest of society and not have to struggle. Now we got a whole big bulk of people that's about to fall real hard. That's correct.
How does And look, dude, make a good point too, though, man. Shit, you take people that's been on Section 8 their whole life and take it away from them, shit about to hit the fan, bro. Because they about to be hopeless. And hopeless people do some crazy shit. And they don't have no skills. They don't have no work experience, no work history. Cooked.
Somebody who's been on Section 8 for 10 years get put off just like that. So I have this friend, right? And she's also a property manager. She just told me the most heartbreaking story that I've
Okay, well, I'm
heard
gonna leave
thus
this
far.
here because I didn't like her story, and I feel like this will be a good point to let this go. So this is where we at. Okay. This is where we at. People getting kicked off of Section 8. What do y'all think? Do you think that the people that are getting kicked off of Section 8 that we watched today, do you think that there was anything that they could have done differently to either keep their Section 8 or you know, instead of actively complaining online about not being able to keep their Section 8, do you think that their time would be better used actually finding a better job or a couple of jobs? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. But this video here, let me see. Let me stop sharing. I really like this content creator. I know that Pooh Man dropped the link to his content in the chat. I'm going to drop it here for y'all too, so that y'all can go and subscribe to this young man. Yeah, and I'll be sure to leave the link in the description as well. So that was it. I liked him. I found him today and I was like, oh, let me see what he's talking about. Okay. Cause I was watching somebody else's channel and it was driving me crazy. Okay. But I'll keep that to myself. Okay. So now this story, y'all, this story is going to knock y'all's socks off. Okay. It is going to knock your socks off. So remember when Kobe Bryant got in trouble all those years ago with that lady in Denver at the hotel? Remember that? Y'all, how about the lady that the coroner, not the coroner, but the medical examiner for Colorado, because I think that happened to him in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, right? The medical examiner that examined the woman that said Kobe raped her is going to jail, y'all. And what she did is putting everything into question that she's ever done. Okay, so I have to show y'all this story. I hope y'all are ready for it. But she's the top DNA expert in Colorado. And her ass is grass. She's going to jail. Okay. She's going to jail. Let me say what's up to everybody that's donated. Hey, what's up, Square Biz? It's good to see you. Better parents may have changed their trajectory. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I used to get assistance. It wasn't Section 8, but I used to get peach care for my son when I had a restaurant and I couldn't afford my own health insurance. So he was on peach care for about 1.5 years. And then when the restaurant started making me some money, I went out and I got Obamacare for the whole entire family. But there are things that you might find that you need for your child or for yourself as you're like growing up in life, early in your adulthood, or maybe even later. You know, like I get that people fall on hard times and might need help. I totally understand that. It's the abuse. And then it's the lack of accountability when you're not doing what you're supposed to do, but you expect for everybody to honor what they're supposed to do. That really just kills me. Thank you so much for being here, Square Biz. Thank you, Uncle Ricky, for my $1.99 super chat. He says, who's selling stamps? Hey, Red, what's up? Ain't nobody selling stamps over here, okay? And Lee Turner, thank you again for your congratulations to me on my 1 year being monetized. Frederick, thank you for putting those good vibes out there for 40K. Mr. Walker, my brother from another mother, thank you for the $10 super chat and for being a member for 12 months and for reminding me that it is my 1 year monetization anniversary. Lee Turner, my A1 from day one with the jewels. Pooh Man, always having my back, giving me a congratulations and $2 super chat. Thank you so much. And brother Noomsy, $10. Thank you for the 10 jewels of my little floating hearts. Y'all know I love hearts. Okay. Again, for my flower, brother Noomsy. Thank you, Jay Tillman, for gifting a Smell the Roses membership and helping my garden grow. I appreciate you so much. I'll be listening to your channel later when I draw my hot bath to relax. Jay, you can always drop your links in the chat for your music channel. My crowd is definitely all about, you know, those kind of vibes. So you're in good company here. And all of you all, definitely, if you've got a channel, you want to push it, you want people to come, I do not mind you all putting your information out on my in my chat room. Okay, I don't know who this is. Bitch, you shouting out all day. Okay, all right. These are my people, so I'm going to shout them out, and I'm going to shout you out too, Aruna Sawal, or whatever your name is. Happy to see you. Calm down. Have a seat. Okay, don't get banned. Okay, because these people don't play about me, and I don't play about them. What's up? Hi, funny, haha. What's up? It's good to see you. Okay, so this next video. All right, let's get to it. Y'all gonna like this. Y'all gonna like this. Y'all gonna be like, this bitch. Okay, so this one comes from one of my favorite YouTube channels. This one is Nate the Lawyer. I love him so much. You guys are gonna be like, what the hell? All right, let's get started. Let me turn it.
Faking the results to get people convicted.
An internal investigation found Yvonne Missy Woods manipulated data and posted incomplete test results in criminal cases.
Forensic scientist who worked on multiple high-profile cases, like Kobe Bryant's sexual assault investigation, could be forcing thousands of retrials.
Then she was arrested and was facing something like 100 felony counts.
A former state forensic scientist is now facing dozens of criminal charges after she was accused of manipulating data in more than 1,000 cases. Yvonne Missy Woods is in Jefferson County Jail tonight facing 102 felonies.
So we have a major update on the story. Let's talk about it. This is Yvonne Missy Woods. She was a former forensic scientist at the Colorado Bureau of Investigations, commonly known as CBI, and she worked there for 29 years, from January 1994 to November 2023. Now, Yvonne Missy Woods is a 29-year veteran of the state's crime lab. She's considered one of the best and most trusted DNA analysts in the country. Her work has essentially never been questioned. Now, the state of Colorado started random audits of the crime lab's work. After a routine audit, the crime lab found some anomalies in some of the DNA evidence.
Sure, we were first notified, we being the elected district attorneys here in Colorado, that they had the Colorado Bureau of Investigation had identified these anomalies in this forensic scientist's work. We were first notified on November 6th of 2023. And of course, our first thought was, she has worked on thousands upon thousands of cases in Colorado. What's the scope of this? What's the impact going to be on our pending cases and past cases that we've obtained convictions in?
I mean, have you ever seen something like this before? How shocking and wide-reaching is this?
This is beyond anything that I think any of us have ever seen.
Remember when NBA star Kobe Bryant was arrested for sexual assault in Colorado? Well, Yvonne Missy Woods is the DNA tech who handled that particular case. She was the one who identified Kobe Bryant's DNA at the scene. And if Missy Woods had been faking results all this time, then that brings into question cases like the Kobe Bryant case. So now the crime lab had to notify both the prosecution and all these defendants that this was going on and that some of the evidence could be compromised.
In a letter to district attorneys on Monday, the current director of CBI told them the agency might have information about Woods that could affect her credibility in court. According to the letter, there were anomalies in her work. The director wrote CBI is not only compiling a list of cases Woods may have worked on, but also finalizing plans to prioritize and retest cases.
Now, after the news came out that this DNA tech was possibly manipulating data, jeopardizing cases, defense attorneys started filing lawsuits to get their clients out of prison.
Yvonne Missy Woods. She was the lead scientist in charge of analyzing DNA for the trial.
Well, I think that was the reason he was convicted. Because they were saying there was DNA evidence putting him at the crime scene.
Missy Woods in Hunter's case is now under investigation. Days before filing the lawsuit, Burden learned CBI found anomalies in her work.
So when people use terms like anomalies, it's a cute way of hiding what she was doing. Okay, so and BAP works. I bet you are 110% correct that they used AI, and AI initially caught the anomalies, but then when they went in and did extra digging, they probably saw that maybe it was dog DNA, maybe it was cat DNA, maybe she used DNA from her dog or from her cat or from a cigarette butt in her apartment complex from the same person over and over and over and over again. You see what I'm saying? Like, what is the anomaly? The anomaly has to be that something doesn't match or something matches too many other things. Right? Like I'm thinking like with my policy brain, with my, because I'm very hyper focused on the details. People love to put things in front of me because I can automatically tell you what's wrong, whether it's the font, the spacing, or just certain words don't belong. Like I can tell you that this is weird. And this is like before AI. Now AI helps me do this faster, but like this would be something that I would be like, wait a minute, to one of my scientists, like, why do we keep seeing monkey DNA when we're testing on humans? Like, that's weird. So that could be an anomaly. I'm just deducing. Like they're telling us, but they're not telling us at the same time. So the word anomaly is a great word to use because it covers so many fucked up things. So this guy is smart. He's like, this lady put one of my clients in prison, and if her ass is a liar, then she can't be trusted. You need to let my client out of prison. So good for him.
It gave us more impetus and it validated our suspicions.
A court dismissed Hunter's case initially, the lawsuit says, after Woods incorrectly identified the victim's hairs as Hunter's. 10 months after the crime, new evidence of hair surfaced.
What led to a conviction was a hair follicle that was given to CBI somehow.
The lawsuit is demanding for all
a hair follicle that was given to CBI somehow. So what is this lady doing? What is she doing? Is she going into like when you get arrested, they take your stuff like your phone and your other items and they put it into an evidence bag? What is she? Well, not an evidence bag, but a property bag, because it's not evidence. Your phone isn't evidence when they lock you up. I mean, depending on what you did. Okay. But usually they drop everything that's in your pocket into a property bag and then they put it in a property locker. So what is she doing? Going to the property lockers and like pulling hair off of clothes or t-shirts? Like, crazy. I wonder what she did. Like, I'm really going to follow this up. Like, this is crazy.
Logical evidence to be handed over so it can be retested.
And my other question is, how many other people are in prison based on irregular evidence?
So now, after an initial review by the state, it says that evidence in about 3,000 cases may need to be retested at a cost of $7 million to taxpayers.
The CBI now estimating about 3,000 cases are going to need retesting. All this after learning about anomalies surrounding one investigator who'd worked with the Bureau for 29 years. The retesting could end up costing the state millions of dollars. It's Missy Woods that is under criminal investigation after someone found these so-called anomalies in her work. She is no longer an employee of the Bureau. CBI thinks about 3,000 cases are going to need to be retested by a third-party lab.
All right, give me a second to pay some bills. This is a paid advertisement for Rumble Wallet. They are sponsoring this portion
I
of the
love
show.
you,
Now,
Nick,
let me
but I
clear
don't love you
something
that
up.
much.
Rumble Wallet is not a
We don't-
thing capped in your debit card, credit,
We don't-
even give you as Now, listen carefully because this offer is limited to the first
Lord,
200 restriction in
yeah.
terms of details. Again, this was a paid app, 3,000 cases, and here's what they found.
CBI says it's finished reviewing the caseload of a former DNA analyst who's accused of manipulating data over the course of her nearly 30-year career. An update posted to CBI's website shows the review of every single case that Missy Woods was involved in that's been completed. The agency has now identified just over 1,000 impacted cases. An internal affairs investigation started in October of last year and found Woods purposefully deleted data.
So now they've reviewed the cases, they've seen the problems, and they decided to charge this former CBI analyst with over 100 crimes.
102 charges related to 58 cases of.
I wonder, like, why don't people like this ever make it to Anton Daniels? why don't like you never? Why isn't like, you know, like when other people do shit like this, you know, you would rather drag Kobe Bryant for filth because he's another black man. It's so easy to like punch down. But this is a white woman. She did this to over 3,000 people for over 29 years. And I bet it's more than 3,000. I just think they're trying to temper it down a little bit because they don't want everybody in the state of Colorado to come down onto their heads. Okay, but 3,000 people is a lot. That is a lot of people to be lying about DNA. Okay.
Alleged criminal misconduct dating back to 2008. According to the arrest affidavit, dozens of agencies around the state are involved. Some of the cases involved are serious and high-profile cases like numerous homicides, sexual assaults, robberies, burglaries, and even sexual assaults and trafficking involving children, all of which our legal analyst points out rely heavily on DNA data in court. CBI estimated the cost of Woods' alleged misconduct is a whopping $11 million. Woods is currently being held on a $50,000 bond. Her first court appearance will be tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Missy Woods was a
I want to know, like, how, like, when they sit down and they ask her, like, how did you determine how you were going to go about, you know, saying that this person was the guy? Like, was it because you didn't like him? Was it, you know, I want to know the demographics of the people. That's the other thing, right? How did you come up with this formula that you use to lie on these people? And then what is the demographic of the people she lied on? Were they white people? Were they black people? Were they Hispanic people? Were they Asian people in Colorado? Is she married? You know, these are all like some questions that I just have for this crazy lady. But yeah, $50,000, that's it. That's like a small portion of somebody's home equity. For 3,000 people, it should be $300,000 bail. Like, you need to like have her shaking in her boots while she's in there. But because she's old and because she's a woman, watch them be very gentle with her punishment. Like that, they're very gentle with her $50,000 bail. Like, You lying about grape and deletion?
Prosecutorial rock star. She strode into court with an air of confidence about it. She was qualified as an expert witness more than 500 times in criminal cases. And on the other hand, we know some things about this investigation that's going on, including her admission in November of 2023 that she deleted some DNA data in her testing process because she wanted to shortcut additional steps that would have been required. So on that hand, it's not a surprise.
And there's already been some evidence of cases being botched and some criminals being essentially given a free pass because the state can't trust what this DNA crime analyst did.
One of the cases she allegedly botched was the murder of Tamara Dean Harney's father.
When this trial started, we were confident the evidence would deliver a sentence of life in prison until CBI was called into question.
Tamara's dad, Roger Dean, was murdered 40 years ago. Just last week, the man accused of killing him got a much lighter sentence than usual because of Wood's alleged involvement in handling the case's DNA.
So with all this evidence against the DNA analyst, it seems like an open and shut case. But Missy Woods says no, she is not guilty.
What?
A big step today in the case against a former DNA scientist accused of intentionally manipulating lab results in more than 1,000 criminal cases across Colorado.
And Ms. Woods would be entering pleas of not guilty as to all of the counts.
Yvonne Missy Woods, the former forensic scientist with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, is denying all wrongdoing. She's facing more than 100 felony charges, accused of tampering with DNA evidence in criminal cases throughout her nearly 30-year career with the agency.
Now listen, I understand she pled not guilty, but the evidence here was overwhelming. They had her dead to rights. They just had her dead to rights. So Missy Woods was looking at lifetime in prison, or you can make some type of deal. And obviously, she made a deal.
As Yvonne Missy Woods walked toward the courthouse Tuesday morning, something she'd done an untold number of times during 29 years with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, she faced a day that would be unlike any other in her life.
Count 1, cybercrime. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
She uttered that word 3 more times. To perjury.
You're not guilty.
Guilty.
Attempting to influence a public official.
Guilty.
And forgery.
Guilty.
In providing the factual basis for the charges, prosecutor Darren Kafka laid out examples, including Woods having committed perjury in the 2014 murder trial of Ryan Hicks.
Ms. Woods was asked by counsel for Mr. Hicks whether her testimony had fully disclosed all of the DNA work she had completed in this case. Ms. Woods knowingly gave a materially false answer to this question while under oath.
Now, after pleading guilty, Missy Woods is going to face a judge September 8th, and that judge can give her anywhere between 8 years as the minimum and 16 years as the maximum. How much time do you think Missy Woods should get? Now, if you're asking me, I think a just sentence would be life in prison, and I'll tell you why. If she is falsifying evidence that's getting people locked away for life sentences, then I think it's only fair that she face that same punishment. But
I agree with Nate on this one. There's been some, Nate, that I haven't agreed with you on, but I understand you're thinking with a male rational brain. But on this one, I completely agree with you, Nate. I feel like she deserves life in prison. I will be interested in hearing what she gets. So we will be covering her again. But yeah, I just had to show y'all that. Like, can you believe it? That is the lady that literally said Kobe Bryant was like all up in that lady, you know? And thank God she didn't put all that, you know, love juice on Kobe, because remember, she pulled like 7 different DNAs out of that woman when she did do that DNA work on her. So yeah, gross, weird. I thought y'all would think that was kind of cool because it had Kobe Bryant in it and a woman who was a demon, basically lying on people to have her way. I'm very interested on what was her motivation to do this, because it's so strange. It's so random to do this to people that you don't know, you know, like I've never seen anything like this on TV. But I'm pretty sure now that this has happened, they're going to be using stuff like this on like Law and Order crime stories, but okay, so that was my my second video. Now this third video is, I feel like the ladies are going to appreciate this one a little bit more than the fellas, but I do think that you fellas need to stick around and see how diabolical this situation that we're about to, it is diabolical. Okay. This is literally wilted. Okay. And remember when I snapped on Anne? Remember when I snapped on her and I called her a bad wig wearing mistress or side bitch? This story has a bigger bitch than Anne. Okay, bigger. I promise you. Shout out to Lee Turner for the 10 jewels. Thank you so much, Lee. And shout out to my brother CEO. We in here. Yeah, we in here. Thank you for my $5 super chat. Thank you all for all of the jewels and all of the love and all of the super chats and all of the likes. Okay, if you haven't liked the video so far, please hit the like button. It is free. Subscribe to the channel if you love me, and become a member if you want to stay with me forever, because once you are a member, you are never allowed to leave. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let me share this screen. All right, y'all, this is a doozy. Now, this is a new content creator. I have never seen her channel before. Well, she's new to me. She has a massive following. I loved her storytelling and her perspective on this video. She's pulling from some TikTok drama that is super juicy. I was like, what the hell? I need to get on TikTok more often. Because it scares the hell out of me. Because I'm afraid if I say something crazy, like they're gonna come after me like with vengeance, with blood, seeking my blood. Okay, but this story right here is gonna blow your mind. Okay, so yes, please hit the like button. Juggling all the balls. Okay, pause, sentiment, pause. What are y'all talking about? Ball juggling. I'm getting a little chubby. What? Okay. I don't know what's going on. Let me pay attention to what I got going on up here before y'all throw me off. Okay, and I know this lady looks crazy, but we're going to be on her side. Okay, so yes, and RIP to Dolly Parton and Tim Curry. Really? Really? Hey, Jay Wills, it's good to see you. Okay, let me start this, because y'all gonna be like, what? This is juicy.
The realtor. A little over 8 weeks ago, my husband violently physically assaulted me. After the fact, I found out that he's been having affairs for the duration of our marriage. He had many mistresses while we were married, but the most annoying one is a realtor. She's been living in my home. She's been seen out in public with him, and she's made a full page defending the man who has been proven to have physically assaulted me.
We are with Miss Celeste Hamilton, the mistress realtor.
And this dude right here, bro, like, I don't know you. I've never seen your YouTube channel. I'm a little interested in seeing what your content is about. I wasn't able to go and look you up before I had to sit down here with my own audience, but I'm gonna look you up. You are a creepy douchebag, in my opinion, just off of this one video. You are weird, bro. You are weird. And I don't know if you use your podcast to like pick up women, but it's gross. Okay, listen to this, y'all.
Mistress realtor.
I sleep well at night knowing that I haven't done anything that's morally wrong in my book.
Babe, you're a sleazy hoe who wrecked a home, and like, congrats, you got the prize. It's a man-beating piece of shit. Anyways,
I've never defended any sort of abuse ever. I just know how things work, and I know how things can be misconstrued. I've gotten to know him more. If anything, it's pushed him and I closer than ever, which she has no idea what karma is yet, but she will.
He just beat the shit out of her last night. She's also in jail right there with him for assaulting the cop that showed up. Yeah, go tell everyone that that's a fluke too, right? Absolutely insane work.
Okay, hold on. Where am I at? I can't find you guys. Okay, here I am. Okay. You see this lady right here? Do you see this mugshot? Let me tell y'all real quick. This lady is the mistress to the woman that we just opened this video up with. The brunette who we just saw is married to a man. That man is sleeping with this woman. She went on that podcast like a week ago because the woman in the brunette went viral talking about this lady right here with the black eye, saying she's sleeping with my husband, she's in my marital home. All of these, this woman has receipts, y'all. She's just not a scorned, mad wife. Like, she has receipts. There are 11 mistresses in this story, but this mistress right here was the one that went on the podcast and has been antagonizing the wife, saying that the wife is lying about the DV that's happening between her and her husband. Now, this woman, after she came out on the podcast, she gets a black eye from the other woman's husband. Oh my God. Okay. So in this episode, I agree with how they are using the term pick me. I agree with the way that this content creator is using the term pick me. And I think that you all will also agree with her calling this woman here a pick me. Okay, here we go.
Tell everyone that's a fluke too, right? Absolutely insane work.
Hi, I'm Jana and welcome back to the channel. What do you think is worse? Finding out that your husband cheated on you or finding out that the man you're dating has a wife and you've unknowingly become the other woman? Now, I think we can all agree that both are pretty horrific, but today's story introduces a third option, and that is willingly becoming the other woman to a known abuser and dedicating your entire TikTok account to defending him while he's still married. Yeah, I know. And somehow that's not even the craziest part, because this isn't just your average messy cheating scandal. No, this is a full-blown case of what happens when a pick-me becomes so determined to get picked that she loses sight of what she's actually being picked for. And with that, I welcome you to the bizarre world of the TikTok pick-me realtor mistress. But before we dive in, I just want to give you a quick heads up that this story does involve physical abuse and domestic violence. So if that's a little too much for you today, that's okay. As always, please be kind to yourself and protect your peace if needed. Now, to start off, our story doesn't actually start with a mistress, but with a wife, Elizabeth Anna. And what started as Elizabeth sharing her experience of what she describes as years of abuse quickly became something much bigger after she discovered that her husband, Michael, had been cheating on her throughout their marriage.
I'm going through it and I feel like venting. So I've been with my husband since 2019. Together over 6 years, married 2 years. It's almost my 2-year anniversary. And operating a business together for over 4 years. And 3 weeks ago, he violently, physically assaulted me at work. And if a description of that is going to trigger you, I recommend you stop watching now. He shoved me down on the concrete floor multiple times, hit me in the face, kicked me in the ribs multiple times, and stomped on my back. And it's not the first time he's assaulted me. And it's not the first time I called the cops. You want to know why he beat me? I asked him if he was cheating on me. And he denied it while he was beating me, after he beat me. Guess what? I was right. He's been cheating on me he's been having affairs and committing adultery for so long of our marriage and our relationship prior. That's it. I just wanted to vent. I'm tired and I'm sad and I'm mad and I just want a little bit of peace, and I can't find it right now.
First of all, I just want to acknowledge how incredibly strong Elizabeth is for sharing something so personal with literally millions of strangers online. I have so much respect for her to be willing to speak about it so publicly. Domestic violence is a pretty serious issue, and people who abuse their partners deserve to be exposed and held accountable. period. But as brave as Elizabeth's story is, that's not actually why it went viral. Elizabeth's story went viral not because of anything she did, but because of what her husband's mistress decided to do next.
Let's talk about my husband's most annoying mistress, the realtor. A little over 8 weeks ago, my husband violently physically assaulted me. After the fact, I found out that he's been having affairs for the duration of our marriage. She is the most annoying because of how involved she wants to be in my life and my social media, actively commenting and doing other things to my family that we'll talk about a little bit later. I do think it's relevant to state that I know her because she's the realtor for a lot of our mutual assets. And my husband referred to her to my dad for a real estate sale. And then she used the phone number of my dad that she got from work to call and harass my dad.
Now the woman...
Okay, so this is the question that I have for my male audience, okay? Because I'm a woman and I just would never, if I was cheating on my husband with the, what man do I see? With the Terminex man, you know, I'm cheating on my husband with the Terminex man. That's not cool. The Terminex man comes to my house. He sees my husband when he's like cleaning the cobwebs off the corners outside. Like, it's not a good look. Why would you be cheating with a realtor and then suggest that this realtor be the realtor on your wife's father's asset? Why would you use the realtor that you're sleeping with to be the realtor for you and your wife's businesses? Like, why are you mixing where you sleep with where you shit? Like, I don't understand it. Can some man in the comments section explain to me why men do that? Why did this man refer his mistress to his father-in-law? That is fucking crazy. Okay.
Elizabeth is talking about is Celeste Hamilton. And at first glance, Celeste, with all due respect, looks like a pretty ordinary woman. She's a realtor from Texas whose TikTok is exactly what you'd expect. You know, selfies, outfit videos, freshly done nails, inspirational quotes, the standard all-American small town lifestyle content. I'd also like to make a note that Celeste even has a tattoo of a handgun on her back, which is probably the most Texas thing I've ever seen, not gonna lie. She also posts quite a bit about her Christian faith, which is interesting.
Wait, hold on. Let me go back.
She back, which is probably the most Texas thing I've ever seen, not gonna lie. She also...
Okay, so how you sleeping with another woman's husband and you have the audacity to commit to the Lord and he will establish your plans? Proverbs 16:3. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? She is just like, her and Anne come from the same tribe, don't they?
Posts quite a bit about her Christian faith, which is interesting consider the role she's about to play in Elizabeth's life and what she's about to say next.
That like makes my skin crawl a little bit is the fact she says she was a client of mine. Y'all, I've never met this girl in my life, ever. I would not even have recognized her from Bob on the street until she started making videos about me, coming for me. I've never spoken to her. She never tried to reach out to me, anything like that. It was just accusations, until she started making TikTok videos about me and just the defamation stuff, which yes, we've already started a whole case. She's got, I think,
Sweetheart, the defamation case. There is no defamation case because this lady has receipts. And this lady that is right here in front of us, her name is Celeste. Okay? Remember the name Celeste because you're going to see it on this lady's Wi-Fi. All right? This woman, every time she goes to her boo thing's house, who's married to the brunette, every time she goes to one of their properties, her dumb ass joins the freaking Wi-Fi. So the woman, the wife who owns the property and pays all the bills, can see her name clear as day joining the Wi-Fi. So it's not defamation, because every time your dumbass goes over there and you join the Wi-Fi, the proof is there that you're sleeping with her husband. When it's 1 o'clock in the morning, what kind of real estate deals are you doing at 1 o'clock in the morning? Like, come on, like, girl.
6 coming. But anyways.
So according to Celeste, she's never met Elizabeth. She's never spoken to Elizabeth. She doesn't know Elizabeth. Elizabeth is apparently just some random woman on TikTok who's become weirdly obsessed with her, which is
that's suspicious. That's weird.
Now, Celeste's explanation is about to age as well as milk left on a hot Texas day. And that's because her version of events requires us to ignore a few very important details about the situation.
So her first lie for a while was that she had never been in a home of mine. She's actively taken photos in my marital home and puts them on her social media, and that's still happening. She's still actively doing that.
So here are the photos of her.
You guys, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something right now. I am emotional. Okay? I am emotional. I see something like this. Happening in my house. Like, can you imagine that y'all see some girl on Instagram taking pictures with the Smell the Roses sign in the background? You guys, like, you know that song from Carl Thomas, I'm emotional and I can't let go. Let me tell you something. When I get a hold of you, I ain't gonna be able to let go. I'm just not, because that is the ultimate disrespect. I'm married and you're taking pictures inside of my house when you're there sleeping with my husband. Girl, violation. That is a violation. Clearly showing her spend the night bag. Like, what?
Next to the photos of me in the mirror I bought in my home. One of her new lies is that they were never dating, never sleeping together. For one, when I left my husband, he sent me a very nasty text message confirming that he had been dating her, and multiple people in town knew about it the whole time.
She's filed. She's sentiment. It's coming. Give it some time. And this video it's going to show you what this lady is doing now. And it's really cool, like how she's kind of like done a 180 on this whole thing of how it started versus how it's ending. Because see, now the blonde is the one in jail with the black eye. And she does show a little bit of empathy for her. And she says, she's like, it took me 7 years to leave this man. I hope it doesn't take you as long to leave him. But I mean, some women, they just feel like, they love more than they respect themselves, which is sad. But, I think now she completely understands where she was lacking in the respect for herself. And I think maybe unfortunately, TikTok, the comment section probably had to gather her together, because if you're a real empath like I am, these comments they lay with you. Like, I'm telling y'all, when I'm out in public and I feel like I'm doing something crazy, I always think about the comment section and what the hell is Mrs. She Said going to say when she hear that I done went up crazy and then got on the news. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want Mrs. She Said to think that I'm a crazy banshee that done lost my mind. What y'all think about me matters, and I think the same for her. She went viral, and now she's kind of like understanding how this is all now going to be,
That he's not even defending that lie, and she is trying to. While we were actively married, he broke up with her at one point, off and on, I guess. And she went to our shop, our workplace, and busted out the window of one of his trucks that I paid for. doesn't sound like an incident because of a reality situation going bad. It sounds like something that happened because she was mad at her boyfriend for dumping her. But again, I'm just a girl. What do I know? She's also been defending his lie that he never violently abused me. Let's be clear. No one can validate whether that did or did not happen. Their opinions don't matter. He did violently abuse me, and he's been doing so for years, and something that his mistress.
And I do want to say this too, because I know that some women will watch this later on and say, you know, some men do lie and not all women know that they're sleeping with married men. And we're going to get into that. And I do agree that if you sleep with a married man unknowingly, it's not your fault. It's totally that man's fault, right? But when you start to be the one at fault, when you are the one that needs to start taking accountability, is when you know and you actively keep going back and you actively go into this woman's house and you actively take pictures. Like, this is when I don't really have any more empathy for you, you know? So it's like you get what you get. But this woman here, she's a little bit nicer than I am.
Doesn't change that. She already wrecked the home. She can have that horrible man. She does not have the right to come on my page and determine how I grieve and have the audacity to call me a liar when all of the things I'm saying about the man that she so desperately wants to be with has done to me, right? And that's what makes her the most annoying.
So let's just recap for a second. According to Elizabeth Wright, despite everything Celeste had to say, Michael had already admitted to the affair in text messages. Celeste was publicly defending him against the domestic abuse allegations, and she even shared photos of Celeste inside the marital home, which is a lot. I guess Celeste doesn't just sell homes. Apparently, she specializes in wrecking them too. Am I right? Now, what's absolutely fascinating to me is how much work Celeste was willing to do for her married boyfriend. Like, I have genuinely never seen a woman ride so hard for a man who is, objectively, like, not worth it. Honestly, dare I say the level of commitment here is peak embarrassment. Or at least I thought it was, because apparently, according to Elizabeth, Celeste wasn't just the mistress. She was allegedly only one of Michael's 11 mistresses.
Let's talk about another one of my husband's mistresses, the nail tech.
Okay, y'all, this is gonna get juicy, okay? This is gonna get juicy, let me tell you. So she found 11 mistresses, okay? I would be on the news, y'all. I would be on the news.
This girl has really not done much to me other than screw my husband. She knew was married to me. But what I do find interesting about her specifically is how in love her man is with her on his social media. Like, that guy's out here actually doing the most, and I feel so bad for him. Posting cute, like, their cute pictures they do at all the holidays. They have a brand new baby together. I think she's 2, but that's still brand new. And I'm like, oh, I'm absolutely not saying anyone should get a paternity test, but I'm saying she is screwing around and has been with my husband for a while. Who knows?
So the nail tech is sleeping with her husband too. She's married, just had a baby, and the wife is saying she saw the nail tech's husband's page, and she's saying, like, she feels bad because the husband don't know what the wife is doing, and the baby could or could not be her husband's. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Who's before that? Maybe we make sure who is the daddy on that one. You thought there were only 4 mistresses? Let's talk about another one of my husband's mistresses, part 5. This particular mistress is almost old enough to be my mother. This mistress she's a social worker. She works at the family shelter in town. So getting divorced and going through all of this process, finding out about the cheating is already horrible. So the family shelter is a wonderful resource to women going through my situation, going through what I'm going through, but I don't feel comfortable going there for help because I don't want the person that holds my hand through this process to be the woman that was sleeping with my husband, right?
Today we're talking about mistress number 6. I know, there's so many. We're calling this one the girl's girl. She is dating my husband, going out with my husband.
Now, I feel like this is an accurate depiction of what we would want a girl's girl to be, okay? So she's describing mistress number 6 as the girl's girl, okay? And at first I was like, the girl's girl, but because I don't like that phrase, but I do like that word for this situation here.
They eventually go back to the house to have fun. They have fun. And then she gets up and she's like, oh my gosh, there's girl stuff or my stuff everywhere. So she immediately leaves the house and she shoots me a message. She's like, hey, I'm so sorry. I didn't know he was, with someone. This is what's going on. She left because she's.
How do y'all be finding the wife? Like, how do you find the wife? Like, you sleep with a man, you meet him at the bar, you sleep with him, you find out he's with someone, and then you DM her. Like, how is it? Because you're following the guy on Instagram or something, and then you see that lady is a lady in the picture of the house, and so golly, I'd be so nervous to text somebody something like that. Like, I slept with your husband and I didn't know that he was married. Like, awkward, but thank you. Thank you for letting me know.
She's a girl's girl, and she didn't know the dude she was screwing was a liar. Mistress number 7 of my husband's. We're going to call this one the hotel bartender. My husband and I got married on February 24th, 2024. Huge, beautiful wedding. Best day ever. What is my husband doing while I'm sleeping? In our honeymoon suite, he's texting other girls.
Oh my God.
Trying to get laid by them on our wedding night. Let's talk about my husband's mistresses. This is part 10, the pregnant mistress. Really hope she wasn't actually pregnant. I hope for my sake and her sake. Yeah, mistress number 11 of my husband's. We're going to call her the blind mistress because she did not know that he had a partner. This is also a mistress that my husband abused. He was very aggressive to her and assaulted her very early in their relationship when she found out about me and threatened to tell me about him. Mistress chat part 8, my husband's mistress, the nurse. This woman not only was having affairs with my husband, but she to be present in my life and bully me for so many years that she is by far my least favorite and the worst person. I don't know, the realtor gives her a run for her money, but she's not a good person. Let's talk about my husband's mistresses, cheating story part 9, another bartender. This specific bar, we're very, very married. Like, everyone knows we're there a lot. We're very big patrons and supporters of that bar. So everyone knows. And she slept with him. That's it. That's the whole tea.
Girl, I am gagged. So you're telling me Celeste wasn't the other woman? She was just another woman?
Please don't play with me right now. No, that's it. Please. Let's not, please.
Now, I think it's important to note that according to Elizabeth, most of the women who eventually found out they were dating Elizabeth's husband did what I think you and I would do. They cut things off immediately. They want to.
Yeah, like, I'm thinking that this man might have he might have a sex addiction, because it's like you're putting all this energy into all these other women. You've got to just have like a sex addiction because one woman can't keep up with all the times you want to have sex. I don't know. Or maybe he just loves the thrill of cheating. I don't know. Y'all tell me in this comments, why is this man married with 11 mistresses? Why? Who does that? Why get married in the first place? You're a man. You don't need marriage, right? Like, marriage is supposedly for the woman, right? It's not for the man. So why does he feel the need to get married? Just be single and live your life. Winston, I'm not going to throw this. No, I'm not playing with you right now. No. Putting this down. Sit down. Sorry, guys. It's like, why do you need the mistress? I just don't get it. I don't understand.
It had nothing to do with him once they realized he was married, which respectfully is the correct decision in that situation. Celeste, however, was different because unlike the other women, it almost seemed like Celeste wasn't just trying to keep the relationship. She wanted to be the one Michael chose. And according to Elizabeth, that became clear pretty quickly.
Do y'all want one little update on the realtor mistress right now? For shits and gigs. So I posted a video about another one of my husband's mistresses that he's still seeing, still involved with, or he was as of 2 weeks ago when I posted the video, the nail tech. So prior to that, the realtor called and dumped my husband. His mistress dumped him because it was too much going on. There was too much drama involved with him.
You guys, this is where the turn goes down. It goes down at this point right here.
And she didn't want to be with him anymore. So then he calls people crying about it. First, my wife left me. Now my girlfriend's leaving me. Ew, 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 all the way around. Okay, that happens on a Monday. So then Wednesday, I put up the video about nail tech mistress, and the realtor calls nail tech mistress. Michael told me it was only me. He left his wife for me. Is he still talking to you? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. These girls are nuts. First of all, you dumped him on Monday. Why do you still care on Wednesday? And now she's actively in my home again. But yeah, I guess they're still hot and cold. Crazy.
I think we can all agree that getting into a relationship with a married man is already wild enough. But finding out that you're one of 11 of his mistresses, briefly breaking up with him.
Yeah. So you see, like, if this was happening to me, you wouldn't hear about it from me. Like, you wouldn't see me on the panel crying, you would see me on the news and you would be like, why is Raquel on the news? And then you would find out that the wife went crazy after she found out her husband had 11 mistresses. That's how you guys would know. You guys wouldn't know because I was making content out of it. Like, at the same time, this woman isn't considering the fact that you got married. So you've merged these families together. So it's like your father, your father-in-law, your mother-in-law. This is embarrassing everybody. And I just wouldn't want to do that. So I agree with you right here, Jay. Jay says, seems like she loves the tea more than she hates her situation. Attention is one hell of a drug. And that's what Triple was saying earlier in the show. It's clout. She's clout chasing, clearly, right?
Him only to get back together and start beefing with the other mistress. Let's just say you don't see that every day. And to say that things would only get more unhinged from here would be an understatement. Because based on what we're about to see, Celeste doesn't seem interested at all in distancing herself from Michael, Elizabeth, or the situation. If anything, she seemed to go out of her way to insert herself even deeper. Which brings us to the barbecue incident. Now, at this point in time, Elizabeth says she was granted a protective order against Michael after it had been proven in a court of law that he had physically assaulted her.
Y'all weren't going to get another video today, but this man is just the cockroach that won't die. So I have a protective order in place against my husband. There was enough evidence of family assault, family violence, that the permanent protective order was granted.
There was only one pretty major complication with that. So Elizabeth's dad apparently lives just down the street from the marital home within the 200-yard restriction of the protective order, meaning that if Elizabeth went to visit her dad, she and Michael could end up crossing paths, which is, obviously not great. So to deal with that, Elizabeth says the judge made a special accommodation. Michael could continue living at the house, but only if he followed a very specific set of rules.
The judge included my dad's house because I'm allowed to visit my dad. I'm not the restricted person. I'm not the violent offender. My husband is. She made an exception to the rule to let him stay in his house, in our house, under the condition. And she was so clear. She made him attest to each one of these things that he understood. He could not be in the front yard of the house. He could literally walk from his vehicle to the front door and back. Our garage faces the street. He can't even be in the garage with the door open. He can't stand out there and look at his truck for a long time. He can't drive his motorcycle down the street. He can't drive down his truck down the street with the windows down, because he has to operate under the assumption that I could be at my dad's house at any time. And the judge made an exception for him to let him stay in that house anyways, even though it's within 200 yards.
All of this becomes relevant because just a few days after the protective order was granted, Michael apparently decided it was, the perfect time to throw a barbecue party at the marital home.
He's hosting a barbecue. First of all, celebrating the fact that you assaulted your wife and the court found that you were guilty of assaulting your wife and gave her a permanent protective order.
Okay, so this is the part where it's like feminism right here and sentiment. I agree with you. She's trying to be controlling, right? And you notice that the judge that made this ludicrous agreement, like ludicrous, to say you can live at the house, but you can't be in the front yard of the house is weird. Like, how is he going to check the mail? Like, he can't wash his car. Like, he can't go out. And so he threw a barbecue and she's mad. And she's saying that he threw the barbecue because he abused her. I think he threw the barbecue because he was celebrating the fact that they're getting a divorce. Okay, so she's being a little bit hyperbolic right here.
In Texas, nonetheless. I don't have words for how twisted and messed up that is, like, to be having a party to celebrate that. A lot of the people that have enabling him that I haven't spoken about yet are there. So anyways, the cops were called, 911 was called. The wording is kind of odd in the specific protective order. So he's not being arrested currently. This will go before a judge this week. A warrant will be issued so that we can hopefully have him arrested for violating this order. It's just crazy when I tell you guys this man has no regard for the law. No remorse for his actions. Worst part is I was a couple minutes from my dad's house to go, we were going over to spend the evening over there. And now I'm not going over there because of this whole shindig going on. Oh my gosh, his girlfriend Celeste, the realtor mistress, is also over there. No one's surprised there.
Now, barbecues are obviously harmless events on their own. However, the point Elizabeth is making here is that you can't really have a barbecue without people being outside. Obviously, a barbecue party would naturally involve people hanging out in places like the driveway, the garage, and the front yard, which just so happened to be like the very areas the judge had specifically restricted Michael from using. I don't know if I'd go so far as saying he was celebrating the assault. However, you can imagine that no one knows her crazy husband like Elizabeth, so we'll just take her word for it. In any case, I do agree that it's hard to believe you throw a barbecue without realizing people are going to be hanging out outside, which makes it pretty obvious that the barbecue was a giant you, I'm going to do whatever I want in my own house kind of move, in my opinion. But then again, who knows what goes on in the mind of an abuser? Apparently, Celeste knows.
One of the best examples of projection that I've seen in quite some time. So Liz and Michael had court on a Thursday. It was wrapped up about 5:30. She then goes immediately to post this.
Sing like a canary. I'm gonna celebrate with Mexican food right now. Go to the rodeo. There will be a story time for the court. See you tomorrow, besties.
Seeing her celebrating the results of their court that day. A couple days later, he decides to invite some of his closest friends over to his house. And while we were there, barbecuing, minding her own business, her stepmom, who resides a few houses down, drove past her own home into the cul-de-sac right in front of Michael's house. One of the stipulations in this protective order, which, mind you, she's pursuing a protective order while stalking him. One of the stipulations in the protective order is that he can't be in his front yard of his own property, his own home in which he owns. She's never owned it before. He's not allowed to be in the front yard. So he wasn't. He stayed inside, did not go past the garage. Those of us who were outside saw her stepmom circle in, kind of park, real sketchy, like I said, real nutty, and then go back to her house. And then within seconds, she'd called the police. So they were trying to say that he was in the front yard and needs to be arrested, and so scary. But Liz is scary.
Oh my God.
Projection is scary.
Girl.
You need to deal with those things so you quit projecting them into others, because not everybody is celebrating. Not everyone is thinking about you. That's the thing, is we're trying to live our lives and be happy, and we just want you to do the same.
This was Celeste's response to Elizabeth's video. And I just have to say that last line, we're just trying to live our lives and be happy, and we just want you to do the same.
Exactly. Are you
is absolutely sending me. Girl, with all due respect, you're dating her abusive husband and making TikToks in their marital home. The irony of saying we're just trying to live our lives while voluntarily inserting yourself into somebody else's marriage drama is
stupid. Yeah.
I can't even. In any case, none of us were standing in that cul-de-sac, so we don't know every detail of what happened that day or exactly how the police ended up being called. Of course, Celeste is going to have her own version of events, although I will say recording the police interaction at the barbecue as if Michael was somehow the victim here was certainly a choice.
We've been dealing with this for 12 weeks. 12 weeks. This is already starting. This is ridiculous.
Anyways, what we do know is that by this point,
why are you inserting yourself as the mistress? You're doing videos, you're answering the wife. Bitch, you are the mistress. Like, where is the humility in the role that you play? Like, just be supportive of the man. You don't have to be antagonizing this woman. like with your stupid TikToks, like you in the wrong for this. But see, then when this stuff happens to you, you're going to be like, I deserved better than that. No, you didn't, because you did this to somebody too. So this is going, young ladies, let me tell you something. When you're young and you're beautiful and you think that you got it going on, you think that you are invincible, that nothing will happen to you, that you are the special snowflake, that you will never have these kind of problems. Let me tell you something. If you have caused these kind of problems to another woman, okay, eventually this shit will come back to bite you in the ass. It's going to be when you least expect it. It's going to be when you're 8 months pregnant or 8 months postpartum. You're going to find something is going on with your husband. Then you're going to find that it's some lady like Celeste antagonizing you and hurting you even more than your husband is, because this is something that you put out there. Don't sleep around with married men. And if you do, humble yourself enough to apologize and back off. But doing YouTube videos or YouTube podcasts that we're about to see in just a minute, because the mistress is going to go on a YouTube podcast and talk about how she is living morally correct. Can you believe that? The mistress is saying that she is not doing anything morally wrong, but we're going to get there. But because you're doing something morally wrong, don't think that it will never happen to you. You're just creating your future karma. So for the Anns of the world, for the Celestes of the world, yo ass will get it back. Trust me. And it will be when you least fucking expect it. Okay? Trust me.
Michael had already been through court and was subject to a protective order. Celeste obviously knew that too, since she literally references the day of the hearing and the outcome in her own TikTok. In other words, this woman—
Hold on. Chief Aka Chi, or Chief AKA Chi 229. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. He says, Rose, you got it wrong. The soon-to-be ex-wife lying about abuse. Now she's going to show you some police reports. She could be lying. I don't know. Neither one of us are there. But the mistress is going to put the same charges on this man, and inside of the mugshot, you are going to see a black eye. Okay, so there seems to be a smidge of truth in here, just a smidge. Okay, but we don't know. They're putting their shit off online, and we're watching it. And we're just trying to figure out what the hell is going on, because none of us in this chat, me included, want to be this woman, either the mistress or the wife. Okay. I don't want to be neither one of them. Okay. But thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for the super chat. And I hope everybody has hit the like button for me, please. Thank you very much. Okay.
Knew she'd chosen to publicly defend a man who, at the very least, had the potential to be violent. And I think at this point, we all want to know what is going through Celeste's mind. Because, girl, what are we doing? Now, obviously—
Yeah, I agree with that too. Like, I have been in a situation, you guys will never hear me talk about it. Like, that is just something that I just don't even... Nah, you know what I'm saying? Not my testimony, and not something that I would ever want to be my testimony, because it's something that I want to get over and I want to do better and I want to be better. You know what I'm saying? So making 1,000 TikToks about it, it seems like she wants to wallow in the depression. But you're going to see a bit of light at the end of the tunnel when we get to the end of this video. So maybe her clout chasing has surpassed. But Keep watching.
Obviously, I can't tell you exactly what was going through Celeste's head. None of us can, for we thankfully lack the experience. But based on everything we've seen so far, my theory is that Celeste fits into a very specific category of mistress, the pick-me mistress. When I say pick-me mistress, I'm not just talking about someone who dates married men. Not all mistresses are pick-me's, because plenty of affairs end the moment the other woman realizes she's been lied to. In fact, we literally saw that happen with most of Michael's other mistresses. In my opinion, what makes a pick-me mistress different isn't just her fantasy of being chosen above all the other women in her man's life. It's that she doesn't interpret the red flags the same way most people would, because she genuinely believes she's the exception to them. I'd say it's a combination of optimistic bias and this almost like delusional sense of exceptionalism, because a pick-me mistress doesn't deny the red flags exist. She just thinks that the red flags won't apply to her. Looking back at everything we've seen, every time another red flag appeared, like another mistress, another allegation, a protective order, Celeste's relationship with Michael was never challenged by her. If anything, in her mind, I think she genuinely saw it as an opportunity to reinforce the idea that she was the one who understood Michael when nobody else did. In fact, I'd even go so far as to argue that Celeste thinks something like, Michael didn't cheat because that's who he is. He cheated because he was unhappy with Elizabeth. He wasn't abusive because that's who he is. His crazy wife Elizabeth was the problem. But me, I'm different. I'm special. I'm the woman he'll finally change for. Luck is great, but a good woman on your side is better. This is one of the quotes Celeste posted on her TikTok.
Come on, let's go back.
Good woman on your side is better. This is one of the he'll finally change for. Luck is great.
Luck is great, but a good woman by your side is better. Girl, you better be careful at the grocery store. Putting stuff like this out is not safe. It's not safe. I'm sorry. But I wouldn't suggest doing this. If you are a mistress, you are climbing up the tree of disaster. Disaster is literally going to strike you. Okay, not every woman is like Elizabeth, who will just go and do TikToks about it. Some women are about throwing them hands. You know what I mean?
Great, but a good woman on your side is better. This is one of the quotes Celeste posted on her TikTok. My case in point. Now, obviously, real life and real people are more complicated than one armchair psychological label. This is only my interpretation of the behavior we've seen from Celeste, and of course, my own opinions. The truth is, people become willing mistresses and stay in these relationships for all kinds of reasons, whether it be low self-esteem, trauma, manipulation, or, in Celeste's case, alleged homelessness and drug addiction.
We have a rental home in Fort Worth that she was living in for a period of time because allegedly she's homeless. And allegedly the reason she wasn't living with her family is because they kicked her out because of her horrible drug addiction. Multiple people corroborated to me that she was living in that home of ours, but they actually didn't need to because I own our Wi-Fi. So I can see every single time.
You guys, watch this. Watch this receipt just pop up on the screen. It was so juicy. It was so juicy. I was at work like, what?
She's been at that house.
Here's the photo of her devices logged into the Wi-Fi in my Fort Worth house she had to live in because she was allegedly a homeless realtor for a little bit.
Oh, okay. That certainly adds some context.
Hold on, let's go
now,
back
I think.
At least nickname your shit. I have smell the roses on so many things. That is how I came up with my YouTube name, was because every time we went somewhere, I didn't want our Wi-Fi to be, I didn't want our Wi-Fi to tell people our first and last name. So I was like, what can I make this be? And I was like, well, smell the roses. So that is what is my Wi-Fi. If you're ever around and you see smell the roses, that's me. But Celeste Air, girl, you connected to her with your laptop, with your name. So if you are a mistress out here living real foul, take some notes here. You can learn from Celeste. Change your fucking phone, okay, so that it doesn't, or your iPad or your laptop, give it a different name than your name, because this has her dead to rights. If Elizabeth was living in a state where she could sue Celeste for sleeping with her husband, this would be the nail in the coffin. Okay? This would be the nail in the coffin. You are at my house at all these different random times, signing into my Wi-Fi, doing what exactly? What are you doing when I'm not there and my husband is? You're sleeping with my husband. You're a mistress. Like, what? Look at her face. She like, what? This is so fucked up. Thank you so much, Fatty, for the $10 super chat. He says, but sleeping with his wife's best friend was okay, right, Roses? Shout out to my boy Prince, LOL. What? But sleeping with his wife's best friend was okay, right, Roses? No. No. Shout out to my boy Prince. Oh, you talking about, oh my God. No. That was fucked up. Thank you, Fatty. That's crazy. Yeah. 3 a.m. I loved that show last night, but it was super, super heavy. Okay. I'm so happy that they can tell their stories, but I was like boo-hooing in the couch pillows. Okay. But thank y'all so much for the super chats. I appreciate y'all. Let's finish this up.
Okay, that certainly adds some context. Now, I think we can all agree that homelessness and drug addiction are serious and complicated issues. And if it's true, it's entirely possible that Celeste's relationship with Michael involves a level of dependence that we'll definitely revisit later. But even with that context, I don't think it really excuses choosing to knowingly date a married man, publicly defend him against his wife, and continue inserting yourself into the situation, especially when you know damn well he's someone who's been accused of abusing his wife and has a literal protective order against him. And as it turns out, that wasn't exactly an unpopular opinion. It seemed like people local to the area were beginning to side-eye Celeste and the situation too. So much so that the realtor mistress saga had spread far beyond TikTok and started having real-world consequences.
Let's talk about realtor mistress. Or, I guess technically I have to say, we need to find her a new nickname. We can no longer call her realtor mistress, because as of today, she is no longer licensed. Her license is not active. She cannot currently sell real estate in the state of Texas. What I've heard is that she was fired today by the broker. That could have nothing to do with the situation. That being said, as a business owner, she is making a fool of herself on the internet, defending the man that she is sleeping with that is still married, who did abuse his wife, and there is proof of that, right? Anyways, we need a new nickname for her. Can't be realtor mistress anymore. She's not a licensed realtor. So yeah, help me workshop that. Let's come up with a new one.
First of all, what? Second of all, we know that Elizabeth says she'd only heard that Celeste had been fired by her broker and couldn't confirm whether it was because of everything happening online. But like, let's be real here. I think it was pretty obvious that it was, because by this point,
you know, on the crazy movies, when Michael Myers or like some crazy woman is about to pop out and try to like get you, and the music is like that is Elizabeth on Celeste's ass. So we're about to see Celeste do that YouTube podcast video in just a minute, where she thinks that Elizabeth called the broker and got her fired. But what she doesn't understand is when you insert yourself into other people's business, and now like people pick sides. So people on Elizabeth's side were like, well, who is Celeste? What's her last name? Let's look her up. Let's get her fired. Like, this is what people do these days. So that's why you don't insert yourself in matters that don't really involve you. You know what I'm saying? Or if you want to insert yourself, you don't do it publicly, you do it privately. You know what I mean? But you done gave this wife so much ammunition that, yeah, she's going to take it as far as she can take it. You're taking it as far as you can take it with the wife's husband. So you don't think that lady is going to take it as far as she can take it when it comes to ruining your life? You ruined this woman's life by stealing her husband. At least in her eyes, that's how she sees it. And you're being all smug and, you know, you're delighting in the joy of sleeping with another woman's husband, saying that you're not doing anything morally incorrect. Girl, like, get a clue. And when you're selling real estate, that's a lot of money, right? People trust their money with people who have integrity. Your integrity is shot once people see that that's how you're moving out in the Texas streets. All right. So do you think that a broker, if I'm Smell the Roses, the broker, and you're working for me, how am I going to sell houses if the families that are coming to look for houses don't want to work with you because they're afraid you're going to try to sleep with their husband? You see, you weren't thinking about that, Celeste. But see, now you're thinking about it. You know, so let's let this play. Let's let this play.
It seems like the TikTok realtor mistress saga had gone so viral that people were leaving troll comments and negative reviews on Celeste's brokerage social media pages. You know, to make sure her employer knew exactly what kind of realtor Celeste was.
Babe, you're a sleazy hoe who wrecked a home and like, congrats.
Now, generally speaking, I think people's personal lives and their jobs should stay separate. Like, I usually don't believe in trying to get people fired over personal drama. However, I do think this is one of those rare situations where your personal life actually becomes relevant to your job. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think most people want to buy a home from someone who also enjoys wrecking one. That's just my opinion. I would love to hear what you think in the comments. Now, whether you're a pick-me mistress or not, I feel like losing your job over your affair going viral would probably be the point where you step away from social media entirely and pretty much never speak of it again. But if there's one thing we've learned about Celeste is that she's not your average pick-me mistress. So no, because instead of disappearing from the internet, let's just say she had other plans.
Within hours of me finding out that I was terminated, she was already posting a celebratory video on her TikTok saying, you know, we got the karma, blah, blah, blah. She has no idea what karma is yet, but she will.
She messaged me to watch all her videos. And I'm like,
who has the time?
No, I was like, I haven't
even watched. I physically couldn't, nor would I want to.
I would rather eat 6 pounds of broken glass than watch 12 of your videos. It would be hard for her to come sit down and have this conversation.
Impossible, I would say.
Yeah, she's going to fall apart. It's going to be like Kamala Harris.
So this YouTube guy, to me, it seems like he's using this interview as a way to try to get some pussy. I mean, I don't know. You have the mistress on your show and you're talking about the wife, but you're talking to the mistress. So it's like two scumbags to me. Right. And the whole entire time he's up there talking to her, he's hitting on her at the same time. Watch. That's why this young lady is like, yeah, okay.
The election.
Yes. I sleep well at night knowing that I haven't done anything that's.
And this is another reason why, Celeste, you got fired. You sleep well at night knowing you didn't do anything morally wrong, but you did do something morally wrong because the man you're sleeping with is married.
Morally wrong in my book.
Right.
A lot of the people I would go click on their profile and it's just purple haired, mean, angry people. That saved me. Like, if you don't like me, then I'm doing something right.
I think most of the women that are probably really angry ain't got no dad.
You know what? I didn't even think of it that way. You're so right.
Ain't got no dad. Look, he is a panda bear. He's worse than Yada. He's worse than Yada. Talking about the women that are complaining about the mistresses don't have no dad? Are you kidding me? My dad would be like, you go bust that girl upside the head as hard as you can. I'm just playing. My dad wouldn't say that.
Because if I saw my daughter lashing out, as somebody, I would, girl.
If I was doing the things that she's doing and posting 3 to 5 times a day, every day for months, my family week 1 would have been like, we're putting you in the mental hospital. Get off your phone. What are you doing?
Do you realize what kind of psychopath is going to want to date her moving forward?
Oh, this is a conversation everyone in my life has had. They're like, she's never going to have no.
Let's talk about my husband's most annoying mistress, the realtor. A little over 8 weeks ago,
I didn't mean to do that, guys. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, let's go back. So the mistress is saying, can you, like, that the wife is never going to be able to find another relationship after this? The wife was in a relationship. The wife was married. Why aren't you married? Where's your husband? Are you going to get a husband? Do you think that sleeping with married men is going to afford you a husband one day? You don't think that men look at this bad decision that you're making and consider it to be a red fucking flag, Celeste? Are you crazy, girl? Like, it applies to you too. It applies to you too. You are just as crazy as Elizabeth.
Fired, and you're just sitting there going, what did I get fired for? Well, you got fired because the phone wouldn't stop ringing and it's easier.
And slow down on the blonde. Slow down on the blonde. I see y'all in the salon when I'm getting my hair done. And y'all get blonde like every other weekend. And that's why your hair is so fried and flying up in the sky. Because like your brain is fried, your hair is fried, your life is fried. Celeste, your life is fried. You're sleeping with married men. You're getting fired. Now you're on TikTok and YouTube as the realtor mistress. This is not good branding.
Like, fire you than it is
to deal with it.
Yeah, just answer the phone. Ignore it. Yeah.
So apparently the dangerous precedent that's being set is that people might actually face consequences for having affairs with other people's partners and gloating about it online.
Right.
Interesting. Now, after being repeatedly validated by the podcast guy throughout this conversation, Celeste then seems to reach a whole new level of cognitive dissonance and argues that Elizabeth and Michael were never actually married.
You knew him before
I knew him, for the last 8 years. I never knew her. I never met her. As far as I know, they never signed a marriage certificate. Like, a lot of the stuff she says about how they were married and all these things aren't even the case, the situation.
They never signed a marriage certificate? What? I mean, where's my marriage certificate? I'm trying to think where it's where my passports are. It's in the lockbox somewhere in the house. But did I sign it? I can't remember. Did I sign it? But we're married, bitch. We're married. What? This lady is claiming this man to be her husband, whether you've seen a signed marriage certificate or not. How weird is that? You've known him for 7 years and you've never known about her. Girl, you're lying. This is a lie. This is considered cope. This is cope. You are coping with the fact that you're the mistress. You weren't picked to be the wife 7 years ago. Lame. That's just lame as fuck. Yeah, exactly. Lame.
Is there a divorce ongoing?
She filed their common law marriage.
Oh, well, that's easy. Me and you can be common law married after this.
Exactly. And so
me and you could be common law marriage after this. You see what I'm saying? The guy was trying to like sleep with her the whole time. Like, bro, like just ew.
Hopefully that will all come out in court.
I'm sorry, but I find it really hard to believe that Celeste, who claimed to have known Michael for almost a decade, somehow never knew about Elizabeth. Maybe what she means is that she never wanted to hear about her, but to say she knew him for that long and had no idea about Elizabeth existing is a pretty wild claim, if you ask me. And what makes this claim even more confusing is that Celeste somehow knows that Elizabeth and Michael never signed a marriage certificate and were only in a common law marriage, while wedding photos of them literally exist publicly online. Obviously, Celeste
let's go back.
Claim is the photos of them.
You see, this is why women sleep with your husbands or sleep with our husbands, because we're so happy showing our marriages, showing our weddings, showing our rings. You know, I don't even wear my big one, but that it's because they literally want to be in our shoes. They want to be the wife so bad that they just cope so hard. You know that if you've seen her TikToks, I know you've seen her Facebook, I know you've seen her Instagram. Bitches be lying.
Literally exist publicly online. Obviously, Celeste's claim is difficult to reconcile with given the reality of the situation. And in my opinion, this is where we really start seeing the pick-me mistress fantasy break down in real time. Because if the reality is that Michael was married, that Celeste was one of many women he was involved with, and that the situation was actually much more complicated than she wanted to believe, that's probably a very difficult thing to accept, especially when the entire fantasy depends on believing that you are different, that, you know, everyone else just simply misunderstood the guy, but somehow you saw the real him. So, you know, instead of confronting the possibility that Michael might actually be quite terrible, it's easier to reinterpret the situation. The marriage wasn't real. The wife wasn't really his wife. The other women didn't really understand him. The problem wasn't Michael. It was everyone else getting the story wrong. Now, all this is one thing when we're talking about someone simply trying and doing very badly to justify their messy affair. But when that same logic starts getting applied to allegations of abuse.
This guy has been arrested for domestic violence. Not hard to do.
No. In Texas, and I can speak from experience, if you are
Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. This podcast guy is sketchy. I'm not going. If he's going to be at the YouTube convention party, I'm not going. Okay.
Or in a domestic and somebody calls the cops, one person is going to jail.
100% of the time.
One of the two are going to jail
100%
no
of the
matter
time.
what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to roll this back. I want y'all to listen to what she said.
You can call the cops.
One in a domestic and in Texas, and I can speak from experience, if you are in a domestic and somebody calls the cops, one person is going to jail.
100% of the time.
One of the two are going to jail
100%
no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can call the cops and you can go to jail.
Yes.
It's not very hard to do.
And a lot of times the person who calls the cops is the one that's not the victim or that is the victim. They more so don't want to get that other person in trouble.
Right.
And then somebody has decided, I'm done with this. I'm running your life, which is what she said word for word.
Yeah, it happens. And whatever their situation is, he's been accused. He'll get his day as court.
And they have all their,
they have all their stuff and whatever. Like I don't care. Like I don't.
No,
like,
and it's not ours to speak on too. I mean, it's not.
Like,
plus, I wasn't in their relationship. She thinks I was, but I wasn't.
Right.
You know.
Well, I don't like. They're like, oh, you're defending. Nobody's defending anything.
And I've never defended any sort of abuse ever. I just know how things work, and I know how things can be misconstrued.
Dude, I'm gonna say it because I'm gonna say it. Like they'll say, there's never a time or a place to hit a woman. I've seen it on the internet 100 times where there's a time and place for a woman to get knocked out, and it's their attack. There's that lady that attacked that little kid. Like, there's women that attack men like with weapons.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, I don't know what was going on at that moment.
Sorry, my dog was going crazy in the background, but no, this guy is like out of his mind for saying this online like this. You know, like if it's woman on woman, like, am I still muted? Can y'all hear me? It says y'all can hear me, but I don't know if I agree with just saying that like that in this situation, you know, like after hearing all of what Celeste has just said, you know, it's like, yeah. And then you're going to see Celeste's mugshot if you haven't seen it already. And and it looks like somebody dotted her eye. Okay, allegedly. I don't know, but you guys are going to see it in just a minute. So she went on this podcast. She's talking all this shit about Elizabeth lying about her boyfriend beating her. And now she's about to go to jail with her boyfriend and allege the same thing that Elizabeth was alleging earlier in the video. So she's not a special snowflake. So young ladies, when you're getting into these situations with these men and you're not listening to the previous wife, you're not listening to the previous girlfriend, you don't even want to take what they're saying into consideration because you feel like you're a special snowflake, you will in fact find out that there are no special snowflakes. Okay? There are none. And you are not the first, and you won't ever be. Okay?
You don't know. And someone with a brother, I've always worried about women because I'm a woman. I know how crazy we are. And and I'm crazy. For me to say someone else is crazy, that's saying something.
Well,
but women rage bait all the time. And this is a clear case of that, in my opinion.
Well, the other thing is like I know that I don't know this guy, but I know what a guy could do to a female.
Oh, 100%.
And it ain't bruises on the arm where you get grabbed because you're a little thick in the arm. I mean, you can grab my arm and leave a bruise right now.
You can stare at me too hard and I'll bruise.
That's right. So, I mean, I know what an ass whooping looks like, and it don't look like bruises on the arm. So
it would also be considered a felony if that were true, not a misdemeanor.
It can get there quick, but it's like that'll play itself out in court.
Exactly.
Like if there's a conviction, there's a conviction.
And I've always said that stuff, I have no doubt about that truth's coming out.
Well, there's certainly a lot to unpack here. First of all, I think it's worth pointing out that the person validating her throughout this conversation is a man who casually says there's a time and place to hit a woman while also referring to women as females throughout the podcast. I mean, you can just tell we're dealing with a real stand-up guy here, you know what I mean? In any case, this entire conversation is just surreal to listen to. Because for me, I genuinely don't know what kind of personal experiences or beliefs lead someone to get to the point where they can just sit there and essentially downplay domestic abuse against women like
You ain't lying. You ain't lying, because I'm sitting on a whole bunch of money right now and resisting and fighting my feelings of going to buy myself a handbag that I don't really need and, shouldn't even want, but I want it. I want it so bad. And I'm fighting and resisting every single day. So thanks for saying that sentiment. I will continue to fight the good fight. Okay.
this. And for that reason, I would argue that the pick-me mistress is probably the worst version of the pick-me archetype. Because not only do we see this deep sense of contempt towards other women, but there's also something genuinely sad about watching someone become so invested in proving that they're different that they're willing to defend a man at the expense of themselves. And unfortunately for Celeste, that last part was about to become quite literal. Because not long after this podcast, Celeste was about to find out firsthand what Michael's alleged abuse looked like.
My wife-beating, cheating husband is currently in a jail cell, and realtor mistress is in there with him. I've got receipts. Come on. Good morning. Here they are.
Y'all can't hear me. I'm sorry, y'all couldn't hear me. But do y'all see this? Hold on, let's look at the husband. Let's look at the husband's mugshot.
Do you remember? Here they are.
So this is the husband. Why is everybody smiling? Why is everybody smiling in their mugshots? Like, what the hell? Look at him. Look at her. Her eye is dotted, y'all. I have never had a black eye before, but my brother punched me in the nose one time. It hurt so bad, y'all. I couldn't see for like 10 minutes because my eyes just kept crying and crying and crying and crying. Like, I don't see how men get into like brawls with each other and they're like taking punches to the face and they keep going. Like, my brother punched me in the nose one time and I was done. I never tried to fight him again after that, okay? Because I knew, like, I never wanted to have my nose hit like that again. What the hell? Look at her black eye. She need to be glad he didn't punch her in the mouth because her teeth would have been messed up. But look at her teeth. It looks like she's had her teeth knocked out before, too. Sentiment. Sentiment says maybe she was brawling with one of the other mistresses. No, she was brawling with the husband, with the other lady's husband, and she put the same charge on him that the wife put on him. And now listen to the wife, because
Do you remember when I told you my husband beat the shit out of me in January and then he put his batshit crazy cokehead mistress on the internet to tell everyone I was crazy and he had never hit me? He just beat the shit out of her last night and he's in jail right now while you and I are talking about this. She's also in jail right there with him for assaulting the cop that showed up. For the family disturbance call. The charge that he got is the exact same one he got with me. Assault, family violence 2 in 6 months. Yeah, go tell everyone that that's a fluke too, right? Absolutely insane work. And I'm not, my pride's not there. I will say I told you so. I have been telling y'all. I have been telling her. But no, on God's green earth, she's on podcast. Also, guys, obviously people tell me about them because we're still married. He is not divorced from me. That is my husband sitting in a jail cell right now. Should I call? I'm just kidding. I'm not going to. I have a restraining order because he's insane. Clearly there was alcohol involved. They got arrested at the Lord's hour this morning. Like, both of them need serious help. Maybe they're a match.
But how is the wife finding out all of this information like in real time? Like, she must have like LifeLock on him or Life 360 on this man or something. Because it's like, how do you know? How do you wake up early in the morning, then the morning that your husband and his mistress just got arrested, and you already know? Like, damn, girl, you are like a senior sleuth. Okay, you are better than Tisa Tells.
In heaven. They're already in jail. Too bad we're not divorced yet. I was going to say, they're going to see a judge. They could try and get married, but no, he would have to get divorced from me first to do that. Damn. Anyways, happy Sunday. God is good, and I'm glad no one's hurt. And I'm glad they're both in jail because they're criminals, and that's where they deserve to be.
I mean, wow. Who could have possibly seen that coming? Am I right?
She has no idea what karma is yet, but she will.
In my opinion, this is where the entire pick-me
Wow, she says she has no idea about her karma, but she'll, girl.
Mr. Saga finally comes full circle. After spending all that time trying to prove that she was different from Elizabeth, that she understood her husband better, and that he would never treat her the way he treated his wife, Celeste found herself in the exact position she had spent months insisting Elizabeth was lying about. And the irony of it all is that in the end, Celeste did quite literally get picked, except she got picked by Michael to be his new victim.
Quick little update for you guys because we're doing this all live. My husband got out of jail yesterday. Celeste, his mistress, also got out of jail. And she's right back at home. Neighbor saw her come back in today. But mommy, she loves him. They were both dropped off by his mother. She is who bailed them out. Enabler to her core. Yeah. No, he beat the shit out of her. Not the first time. He's been doing it for months. Beat the shit out of her. She assaulted the cops while they were arresting him. Both got out. She won't leave him. He is going to end a woman's life one day. As long as we're all in.
So the neighbors must be telling her everything. The neighbor must have seen the cops over there and was like, girl, they went to jail last night. Neighbor, mind your business, okay? Mind your business, neighbor.
Same page. And unfortunately, right now, it seems like she is signing up for that role. And I do genuinely hate that for her. But they're in love again, still living in my house.
Now, I'm not afraid to admit that my sense of justice is pretty strong. Sometimes a little too strong, honestly, which is something I'm at least self-aware about. So I believe that when you fuck around, sometimes you find out.
Yeah.
And after everything Celeste had said and done, I'm not exactly going to sit here and pretend I wasn't thinking, well, girl, you fucked around. But I also think it's easy for me to have that reaction because I've never experienced domestic abuse or violence at the hands of a partner. I've never had to understand what it's like to be trapped in that kind of situation or how complicated it can really be to leave. Because after everything Celeste had said and done to her, I thought Elizabeth would be a little bit more vindictive. And honestly, I think she would have been completely justified. But Elizabeth, to her credit, took the complete opposite approach.
We come to find out, my husband got arrested 2 nights ago for assaulting her. He's assaulted her multiple times. He's been assaulting her since November. So she did all of that to me while she knew what type of a man he was. And he was also committing assault against her. And I will give her a bit of grace here. I believe my husband was making her do that. And I've been very candid about that on the internet. My husband has a restraining order in place. He cannot talk to me. He cannot talk about me. So what does he do? He finds someone dumb enough to weaponize in his place. And unfortunately for this girl, it was her. Okay. I do think he made her say some of those things. There's a line. And I don't think he made her go on a podcast to talk about what a liar I am and defend how he's such a good man. She's lucky she has her life right now. I am grateful that he did not end this girl's life. No one, not even the woman who's made it her personal goal to debase and defame everything I went through, not even she deserves to have my husband unleashed on her. Okay? And I stand by that. The girl needs help. I've talked about this before. She is allegedly very deep in drug addiction. And I think she's dependent on my husband for a lot of reasons. He was letting her live in one of our homes in another city for a while because her family's put her out because of the alleged drug use. She immediately moved into my house, quasi living between her car. I think she's fully financially dependent on him. He is giving her access to a life that she could never have on her own. On top of that, I know how hard it is to leave him. I'll give her that. It took me 7 years. I know firsthand specifically how hard it is to leave him. And that's not to say it's just us. There's women everywhere who have a hard time leaving abusive relationships. I always say do it when it's right for you. At the end of the day, if there's anyone in the situation who needs your thoughts and prayers and who needs help, it is her. I sincerely hope that for her. Hopefully she can get away and she can start over and she can have a fresh start too. I don't know how old she is. I think she's older than me. You can start over. Women can start over. I hope she is able to do that. I hope she can forgive herself for what she did to me because she was just as foul as my husband to me without ever lifting a finger against me. And like I said, I think she's a victim too. I feel for her in every part of my heart that I can. I don't hate the girl, but she's a lunatic, quite honestly, and she needs help.
Girl, what an absolutely insane situation. And honestly, good for Elizabeth for handling it the way she did. Elizabeth doesn't suddenly forget everything Celeste did to her. She doesn't excuse the affair. She doesn't forgive her. And she makes it pretty clear that the damage Celeste caused is something she'll carry with her. But at the same time, she's able to look at what happened to Celeste and recognize that she's now in an abusive relationship herself, which is one, not that easy to do. And two, probably not what Celeste thought she was signing up for when she spent, all that time trying to be the one who got picked. The story of the TikTok pick-me realtor mistress is one of affairs, questionable life choices, and an absolutely catastrophic case of I'm not like the other girls. But underneath all the insanity, I think it's also a story about being able to recognize that someone can hurt you deeply and still not deserve to be abused. Hurt people. And while that obviously doesn't excuse their horrible behavior, maybe we can all agree that some people just need to heal before they make another terrible life decision. But
yeah, I agree with that. I agree with you, girl.
I want to know what you think.
Yeah, what do y'all think? I mean, I've been reading the comments here, and I'm going to be sure to share this young lady. Her name is Jana May. And I like her. I subscribed to her channel today. I found her. when I was looking up. I don't like watching TikTok, but I'll watch TikTok on YouTube, which is crazy. And that's how I ended up finding her. So I'll be sure to drop the link to this video in the description of my video. And y'all go and give Miss Janamai a subscribe and like the video. I think she's a great storyteller. I loved her perspective on this one. Yeah, that was just a messed up story. Like Celeste, girl, I mean, going on that podcast, I mean, getting arrested, it's a blemish, especially, it can especially be a blemish if you got arrested for doing something bad and you got caught for it, hitting the police for your boyfriend hitting you, that's not a good look, Celeste. If you want to have a serious career, you're going to have to maybe seek some therapy, maybe be by yourself for a little while, because it seems like you can't really trust the decisions that you make. I don't know about the drug use and your parents putting you out of the house. These are all alleged in this story. But sleeping with married men, sweetheart, you need to do better. You just took on a whole bunch of problems that you didn't need. You got arrested. You got fired from your job. You're being dragged all over the internet for being the realtor mistress. And now you're not even a realtor anymore. I mean, is sleeping with this man and being with this man worth it? Because eventually what he's going to end up doing is he's going to end up leaving you for another woman, just like he did to his wife with those 11 other mistresses. So I don't know. What do you rosebuds think? Which rose was the wiltiest or the rotten? What out of the 3 stories that we talked about today, right? The Section 8, the crazy woman, the forensic DNA lady, in Colorado that possibly lied on Kobe Bryant. We don't know, allegedly. What do y'all think? Who's the worst wilted rose today? Is it Winston? Is it Winston for being a bad boy? Go over there. I'm so sorry, y'all. He's being such a bad boy. He doesn't like when I'm not engaging with him. And I can't engage with him when I'm engaging with you all. So it's a pickle. But anyway, I really appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me tonight. It was good to hang out with y'all. Y'all have me dying laughing in the chat. I can't wait to show my husband the chat when I get off. And so he can see what all of y'all have to say about the crazy stories that I picked out. I didn't want to talk about Joey Badass. Didn't want to do that, but I think at some point we will talk about Joey, because I don't think that the drama going on between him and his ex-girlfriend is over yet. So eventually he will end up on my docket. But that's tonight's bouquet. Those 3 stories, the Section 8, the Colorado DNA debacle, right? With the lady that lied about over 3,000 cases. And then this last lady with the realtor lady, the realtor mistress from TikTok going viral. Yeah, y'all tell me, who gets the wilted rose tonight? And did I miss anybody? Is there anybody else that y'all think I need to put on my Wilted Roses Wednesday docket? Drop it in the comments, because sometimes y'all catch a wilted petal that I missed and I didn't see it, and I need to be made aware. So I appreciate y'all, especially you, Chief. You're new to my comment section, but it's good to see you unless you changed your name in your profile picture. It's good to have you here in the Rose Garden. I hope you subscribe to the channel. If you all enjoyed tonight's show, please hit the like button for me, subscribe if you haven't already, and send this live to somebody who loves a little commentary with a little common sense, okay? And if it's not my common sense, it's the chat common sense, okay? Because I realize that What's common to me might not be common to you, and what's common to you might not be common to me. Okay. And remember, I want y'all to remember this. Okay, I'm gonna get on it, Pooh Man. I'm gonna get on it. I got Marcellus Wiley on my board. I wrote it on my board when you said that. I try to stay away from the sports stuff, Pooh Man, because I know that Chelsea could or could not want to talk about it, and I try not to step on her toes, because I know y'all are over there talking about a lot of sports, but I will look into it and I'll see if Chelsea talked about it. Maybe we'll cover Chelsea's video when I talk about it, but I'll see. I'll go check out her channel. And another thing, I need y'all to let Go Creek and Chelsea know. Well, Chelsea and I don't stream around the same time. But me and Go Creek, we do stream about the same time, and it would be nice if I could redirect you all to Go Creek sometimes. So I will appreciate if y'all can tell Go Creek to turn on her redirects, or at least let me be one of the people that gets to redirect my stuff to her. Tonight, though, I'm going to redirect everybody to Red Lipstick Vibes. I think she goes live tonight at 8:30 or 8:15. Hopefully she's already on. Yep, she's live, and she's going to be talking about yada. Okay. I think y'all want to hear that conversation. It's going to be deep. She'll probably have a panel talking about it. So if y'all are good with that, stay here. And at the end of this live stream, it'll redirect you all over to Go Creek. Not Go Creek. I'm sorry. Red Lipstick Vibes. Go Creek for another day. Okay. But y'all remember that every rose ain't meant to be picked, okay? Celeste, she shouldn't have been picked. She crazy, okay? Maybe even Elizabeth shouldn't have been picked, okay? Every story ain't what it looks like. And sometimes you got to let a thing wilt, okay? I think Elizabeth has understood that her husband is a wilted rose, so she's moving on. But I think that the TikToks about Celeste should stop, Elizabeth. Just my opinion. Just move on. You're a pretty girl. You'll find a new man, a better man, okay? Yeah. I'm Raquel. This is Smell the Roses, and I'll see you all on the next one. Be good to each other, okay? Not bad to each other. Smell the good ones and leave the wilted ones where they are, okay? I love y'all so much. I will see y'all. I don't know if I will see y'all on Friday. If I'm not on the Untouchables this Friday, I will see you on Saturday because I'll be having a debate with Rogue C. So y'all look out for some promotional flyers about that on Saturday at 5:00, okay? I love you all so much with the love of God, all right? Y'all be sweet to each other. I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye-bye. Winston, go away. You can't do that.